Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday, TGIF. What's the deal, Pickles? Is everything kosher? I hope everyone had an amazing week. I hope that you guys are ready to rock with us. This is Rumboyz After Dark here on the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Make sure that you guys like, make sure that you guys comment, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that I turn the volume down on my phone here in the background. Ladies, gentlemen, pirettes, we have an amazing show for you guys. We're going to get right into it. But before we do, we have to make sure that we pay some bills. Can you pay my bills? Ladies and gentlemen, First things first, I do want to start off by reminding you guys about the Stacks app. You see this blue flame right here? Oh, it's fire, right? Make sure that you guys download the Stacks app, stacksapp.io. Link is in the description section. Really quick, all right? I need everyone to have an active Stacks account, okay? There is also another link in the description on our YouTube channel. If you would like to play against the Rumboyz Fantasy Network and many of other analysts and personalities, so on and so forth, across all types of sports, far and wide, not just we're gonna have a pool of analysts and fans, so on and so forth, former athletes competing. Ladies and gentlemen, over on Stacks app, we are giving away right now. We're giving away an autographed Glenn Rice jersey to the grand prize winner of the March Madness Stackatology tournament. Okay, so make sure you guys join the bracket, but you have to have an active Stacks account in order to claim any prizes. So get on over there, start stacking it up with your boy Rumboyz Robbie and the rest of the crew here that is on the panel tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, also I want to remind you guys about Monkey Knife Fight. You see the logo right here. What the? All right, Monkey Knife Fight. Make sure you guys get on over to Monkey Knife Fight. Utilize promo code Rumboyz. That is right, promo code Rumboyz. Me and the gang gonna match you on. That's right, we're gonna match you 100%. All right, 100% on your very first deposit, all the way up to $100. All right. So if you want to play with the full hundo, play with the full hundo. You want to play with 50, play with 50. You want to play with 20, play with 20. Whatever is your pleasure. You never bet more than what you're willing to risk. Make sure you guys get on over there to Monkey Knife Fight, monkeyknifefight.com for all your legal daily fantasy prop needs. All righty, let's get into the show. Let's see here. First up here on the panel, ladies and gentlemen, he is my weekly co-host here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Give it up for Drop the Mic FF.
What's up, Robbie? What's up, crew? What's up, chat room? Let's get this party started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, next up here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, he ain't wearing green tonight. It's close to where you're going to have to be wearing green. Give it up for St. Pat FF.
What's up, guys? I want to let you guys
know. You're wearing
know.
A green shirt. Damn it. That did not work.
It's black. It's a black shirt.
Oh, it's black. Okay,
it's
cool.
black. Smoking will kill you. Bacon will kill you. And yet, smoking bacon will cure it.
Oh, I like that. That was a good joke. I didn't know where you're going with that. I was like, hey, I smoke weed, man, and I'm
I know. I don't want to step on any toes, but
it's all good. It's all good.
I got the cure. I got the cure.
Ladies and gentlemen, next up here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, it's your boy Z2 Fantasy.
What's good, boys? What's good? You got the Carolina Blue on tonight?
Bro, I feel it. I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, it's your boy representing the Rumboyz Fantasy Network, Raji Harris.
Yo. What's good with everybody tonight? Let's get lit. That's about it. Let's get lit.
Rob in the house. We got Canada up in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, he is representing the Overtime Heroics crew. Give it up for the homie, David Gillespie.
What's going on, everyone? Glad to be back on the show. Ready to get right into it. We got a lot of crazy shit to get into after this last week.
A lot of shit. Yeah,
I can't fucking wait.
Let's
go.
So first up, I want to shout out all of our viewers. We got C-Yard up in here. Holding it down for the Rumboyz community. You make sure you guys, feel free. $6.99. Go ahead, get those custom emojis. get our weekly picks, all that good stuff. We got you guys covered. We got Leafs defense up in there. What's up, Tree? Aiden is up in here. Aiden, that intro's been the intro for like the whole season. Daniel, what's good? He's like so ready for the show.
Daniel!
For the land down under. Aiden, we will take that question. We will take that question later. Make sure you're staying tuned into the show. Make sure you're staying tuned into the show. Hoove Tube, what's good? What's good, Hoove?
What's up, Hoove?
Aiden, what's up? Again, gambling and drunken adventures. What a screen name that is. Because I've always is that freaking what's his name? Garrett. I think that's Garrett.
Is that Garrett from
Garrett, yeah.
Garrett from Iowa or Garrett from somewhere?
Yeah, that's Garrett from Iowa. Holy shit. And C-Yard starting us off already. Let's go. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls want to do. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
I'm out.
I'm sorry, Roger. Was
Yes,
that a little
sir.
too old for you? Was that a little too old for you?
It's cool, bro.
It's before his time, you know.
Y'all some old heads.
A,
bro.
B,
Yeah, y'all some
C,
old heads.
D, E, F. Is that more your speed,
All right.
Raj?
Let's go. Let's go. Yes, that is Garrett from Iowa. All right, boys. Let's go ahead and get right into the show. Let's dive right in. Make sure that you guys out there in viewership land are sharing the content. It's just kind of like common courtesy, like, right? We want to get your cousin Pookie twice removed, who has been losing your fucking fantasy league, all right, year in, year out, needs to be tuned in right now. All right, share the content. You dig? Gentlemen, first up, big news. They dropped the bomb on us. Deshaun Watson will not be facing criminal charges for his recent allegations. What team does he end up on, and why? Drop the mic. Tell us why.
Carolina Panthers. They need a quarterback. They need a quarterback badly. Give DJ Moore a quarterback finally. Give CMC someone that will actually get out of the pocket, give him something to, give him an opportunity to perform. They have the draft capital to do it. Other teams that need a quarterback might not have the draft capital to do it. There is another team that I think is going to be mentioned by one of the other guys that could end up in, but I would say right now, Carolina, even though I don't know if it's the best move for him, I think that is going to be what's going to happen because he went to school not too far away.
Okay. Pat.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say one that's kind of outlandish, but
Please let me eviscerate someone.
this team just recently got a bunch of draft capital that they could send back down south. Heading out to Seattle. Bombs.
Fuck you. All right, that's what I was gonna say.
Yes. I co-sign this 1,000%.
I like it.
That was the other team. That was the team I was good. That was the team that I knew someone would mention.
That was my pick.
I love it. I love
my
it.
pick.
And it's a bomb division right now. Anything can happen out there. It's the Wild Wild West.
Hoove is beating this Minnesota drum. Hoove is beating this Minnesota drum.
Poor Kirk Cousins. When he had his best year of his career, arguably, he still doesn't get the fucking respect.
Cousins isn't bad.
Yeah,
he just got overpaid in that contract, and then they just kept extending him, thinking that this year's the year, and now they're kind of stuck in the dead spot.
Before I start rambling, Watson to Pittsburgh, and I still just
please no, there's no point. There's no point.
Wait. Hey, Raj, just wait. Just wait. CR says anyone but the Hawks. Okay. A little bit of age for Watson to the Hawks. Z2, what's your take?
There's gonna be another new quarterback in the NFC East, Philly. They have the draft capital, and they have a quarterback that's complacent enough to send to Houston.
Don't they have 3 first-round picks?
No.
You think Jalen Hurts moves on?
Yes, they do. No.
They do have 3 first-round.
No.
Philly's stayed peak interest even when he was still having criminal charges, and now that's dropped. It's Carolina. It's between Carolina and Philly.
I'm not. No.
Where's Jalen Hurts' hometown? Houston.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Sorry, Robbie.
No, I
Philly's
want
going to get the better quarterback.
I want Long Neck to be there next year. Long Neck.
I mean, I'm
Next
always down
year.
for an
Next
upgrade if we
year.
can get it,
Next
you know?
year.
Because even with Davis Mills' potential, like Deshaun Watson,
They have so much draft capital. Like I think they could send 2 this year and 1 next year if the price is 3.
Incoming. Okay. I'm gonna let you have that take, even though obviously I'm a Washington fan. Honestly, no, fuck that. Your take blows balls, bro. Fuck you. Everything that you stand on. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know why. Yeah. We're not even through the first topic, and already I was like, during Pat's take, I was waiting. I was like, somebody, please let me fucking eviscerate them. You're a terrible friend. You're a terrible friend. You're a terrible friend. Hold on. Yes.
When you asked me if I was on the show tonight, and then I saw the show sheet, I was like, he is not going to like me tonight. He might not invite me back. So
you weren't here,
we're just getting started.
You weren't here. I mean, it's not exactly like a freak of anything. Your take is your take. I'm just letting you know I don't like it, and I don't like you right now.
If Robbie fires us, can we get unemployment?
I hope so. Fuck. Hey. You know what? We'll have to work that out. These PPP loans. I'm kidding. All right. Go ahead, Raj.
Okay, so I'll go with I'll say the obvious choice in the Panthers. I think that's I mean, Watson has kind of said that's his number one landing spot or number one destination, whatever. The Seahawks was my pick, but what I'd rather talk about is why he's not going to the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay? Let's put that out.
Gonna go to Pittsburgh.
They do not want another sexual fucking. They do not want another rapist on their team. Let's not do that. All right? We already had one, and then we just got rid of him, and now we're just gonna bring in another one. Fuck no, I do not want him on my team. Get out of here. And also, if y'all are golf fans, you probably know about what the fuck's his name, Gary Dulac or whatever. If y'all follow golf, he's he runs like Steeler Nation or whatever, SteelerNation.com.
What up, Harms?
He already said he's a Steelers insider. He already said the Steelers are not pursuing Deshaun Watson. So that's all I really got to say.
Watson to New York, says Aiden. Oh,
I don't hate it.
I hate it because it's my division. So pass. You're taking talk shit, Aiden. I'm kidding, Aiden. I love you. I just can't. I don't want Dotson. Watson. Deshaun Watson.
Thank you, Daniel. Daniel.
Yeah, we need a Davis Mills fantasy season. I like it. David, what's your take, bro?
I mean, just to clarify though, with that previous day, we don't know if he did commit it or Ben committed it. But
Ben did at least one of them. I'll just be real with you. Like,
I remember the first girl was bragging about having his baby. Like, she was proven to be lying. And the second one, I think there was no contact. I mean, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, obviously, so I can't speak.
It is claimed that. Hold on, tax season is here. It is claimed that you have a child by a baller season. Okay, we all learned from PJ Washington. Okay, maybe that was a low blow. I'm sorry.
Or Jerry Jones.
Jones news.
Yeah,
that was wild. It doesn't surprise me at fucking all, though. Like, it's Jerry fucking Jones we're talking about here. That dude he's batshit insane.
Yeah. But continue.
Yeah, sorry. You
set the joke up.
No, yeah, it's with I have to co-sign with Patrick on this one with the Seahawks. And is it necessarily because I think he wants to go there most of all, or that I think he'll land there most of all? Not necessarily. I think, honestly, the reason why I picked the Seahawks more so has to do with John Schneider, their GM. This dude has to get this right. He has to land Deshaun Watson, basically, because you give away Russell Wilson for what he did, and he may have hauled in a huge draft haul.
I love him.
Even with that being the case, you still are coughing up a guy who's clearly a top 3 quarterback, still in his prime, still, arguably the cornerstone of their franchise historically. And on top of moving on from Bobby Wagner, you're giving up on the team. You've reaping all these, all these draft picks in return. You've got to do something with it. You can't just completely tear down this team and say that, we're hopefully in the future we can land another quarterback in the draft, but there's no one on Deshaun Watson's caliber. Okay. There's no one on his level,
period.
If he's available and you want to, reignite your team, you've got to do it with someone like a Deshaun Watson. Otherwise you're looking at the next few years absolutely in the dumpster of the NFC West. Okay.
Washington cheddar bob themselves by not waiting until Friday, dumbasses.
Washington with landing Carson Wentz. That's another interesting situation. But
for all the youngins out there that didn't get the cheddar bob reference, watch 8 Mile.
Oh yeah. Cheddar Bob he's a classic, of course. But no, I think honestly, John Schneider he's got so much pressure on his back. Honestly, I was shocked that they basically resorted to Team Carroll as opposed to Team Wilson in regards to what they did with Wilson this offseason, because I figured that they would have went with the obvious and going Team Wilson because he was the better option to resort to. But because they did this, it's so bold. I think honestly, the way the Seahawks have dwindled in recent years, there's so much pressure on John Schneider to get it done. He has to get it done. And if he doesn't, he's got to be ousted. He has got to be ousted. They got to move on from him, even to Pete Carroll, and just rebuild this team from scratch. But if you want to save your job, John Schneider, get Deshaun Watson. And that's what I think he's going to try to do.
Yep. Okay. Steelers Nation, I love that take. Love it. I love that more than him going to Pittsburgh.
Can I add to that real quick on the Schneider thing?
Well, and then we're going to get into Herm's estate. Yeah.
Is that basically you need someone to sell season tickets? Who are you putting on the front of that stadium?
Yeah, it's not going to be Drew fucking Lock,
You just sent away Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
You just sent away Russell Wilson.
I'm hating.
Yeah. Amen.
You want Deshaun Watson to Washington? He's already had his own ACL issues.
Aiden is going in on me, and I can't say shit.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Go, Herms.
Yep, Herms, go.
About where Deshaun Watson plays?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck.
Keisha.
As long as it's not Pittsburgh, I don't give a fuck where he goes. I mean, that's that franchise's problem. I mean, shit. The Panthers make the most sense. They pursued it the longest, at least as far as what I'm aware. And I don't know, probably for as much as we talk about the Seahawks are under pressure or whatever, it's just for what? They just decided to nuke it 2 days ago. Okay. The Carolina Panthers were bought by their new owner a couple of years ago at this point or whatever. They still have not ramped up their shit yet to really turn it around. So it's just I mean, shit. You know what I mean? The owner came in and was just all right, we got to win some shit. You know what I mean? So they've been trying to do a bunch of creative things for a while now. And they've really built the defense up to a point where it could be something special. DJ Moore's really good. They doing all this stuff. I mean, they'd probably have to give up McCaffrey in the deal to make it work somehow. But either way, the point is, it's based off of what the team owner said, hey, this is what I want to end up doing or whatever. And the corresponding moves they've made since he took over, this is the last piece of that puzzle. It's kind of important for him to really get that last piece of the puzzle in there. I kind of figured they were probably in on Russell Wilson as well. They were probably in on some other. So it's just I don't know. I mean, shit. It makes a ton of sense. And plus, I mean, they're really trying to create as much buzz around that shit as possible. Because, I mean, shit. It's loosely somewhat related or whatever, but they have a new MLS team. They're trying to fill up that stadium as much as possible. You know what I mean? Max out that revenue, just put some butts in that seat, those seats, no matter what the sport is. And so it's just I mean, shit, all the other shit about him aside, he's a damn good football player, and he's the final piece of the thing they've been building. So there's way more pressure on Carolina to get something done than there is for Seattle. They already decided they're hitting the nuke button and not giving a shit, which is fine, which is the smart thing to do because the rest of that division is further ahead than they are. They gave it a shot and it didn't work out, whatever, but they have a Super Bowl ring to, show for it. They're fine. Yeah. They're fine. They can afford to move on for a little bit.
I think the pressure is on Tampa for real. One, you can really lure him in with all of those massage parlors down there. Two,
God.
Two, I feel like them tendering Godwin kind of gives me those vibes of and then kind of constantly gunning after the next thing or the next best thing. Maybe they try and do what they did with Brady. Hey, we're gonna bring in the best of the best, So I could see that. I could honestly see Tampa happening. I think that is Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
For as much as they have walking away in free agency, I mean, people forget it's an attractive enough destination just because Tristan Wirfs is still going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know that at minimum,
Mm-hmm.
your ass is being protected by a really damn good left tackle. For as much as the running backs are going away, some other things are happening. There are going to be changes, but there's just enough of the core pieces in place. Mm-hmm. And like with that division being so wide open with crazy amounts of shit, you know what I mean? Like the NFC South is very winnable. You know, like it would be a very good destination for any quarterback for that matter. I mean, like that, they're going to be a fascinating team.
I think the Panthers would be a more intriguing team. I just wanted to say this real quick, if that's cool. I think the Panthers would be an intriguing team, more so talent-wise than the Seahawks. The only reason why I say that is more so just because it's such a baffling move to move on from a Russell Wilson because of the fact that, like, he's arguably the most versatile quarterback we've ever seen in regards to being able to throw the ball as effectively as he does and run the ball as effectively as he does, because there's no one outside of maybe Deshaun Watson out there that can do both of those at a high level like Russell Wilson. And so to move on from him when he still has like 5 years left of his prime, it's so baffling to see them not try to rejuvenate this team and get them into a position to win in the near future, at least for John Schneider's case, if he wants to salvage his job. Because if they don't go to the playoffs in the next 2 years, he's out. Like I'm willing to almost damn near bank, a shit ton of money on that happening. So I don't know. That's just my take.
Yeah, I think if I were to have to rank them, it would probably be Carolina, Seattle, and then Tampa is what I think that would be his.
Tampa would be great, yeah. Be another
I mean, yeah, you're gonna get those receivers,
exactly.
And you're playing in majority of warm weather throughout the season, like that greatly helps a quarterback. And that division greatly helps a quarterback. So I could see him, taking that avenue of approach. Let's see here. I think for this one, normally we would start off at the bottom here, but we're going to start off with the resident Packers fan and Pat, and then we'll start from the original order and work our way back up top. The Green Bay Packers re-signed that bad man Aaron Rodgers on a 4-year. There's no official numbers locked in, but it's sounding like what could be 4-year, $200 million deal, as well as tendering Devontae Adams. How far can this team go? And your thoughts surrounding the future of Green Bay. Go ahead, Pat. Take it away.
How far can they go? A ring. That's where they're going. It's ring. It's put up or shut up. It's put up or shut up time. The 49ers game hurt like a motherfucker. People want to blame Rodgers for that. Could he have put up more points on that game? Yes. Should the special teams have blocked anything during the game? Yes. But they block anything in that game? Packers win. Packers beat the Rams. Rams, Bengals, Super Bowl. And Packers already beat the Bengals earlier in the year. It was there. The opportunity was there. Does this put their defense in a tough spot by putting this much money into Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams?
We don't know.
We don't know.
He's not guilty.
I don't know, honestly.
Not guilty by the court of law.
Yeah, by the court of law.
It was like he was found innocent. Just no charges were brought. Like that's what happened. Okay?
I got attacked really quick. I got attacked heavily on Facebook because I was very much on the side of like, no, he's fucking guilty. He's guilty. He's guilty. He's guilty. He's guilty. He's guilty. Black Facebook during that time period ripped me apart. It was very much a lot of rose tinted glasses were on. He is as of now proven innocent. We don't know. None of us know.
Yeah.
Legitimately, none of us know. Can I undonate? Can I undonate $10 for that last dono?
There you go. All right. There we go.
Yeah. There we go. You can do that. Yeah, there we go.
I know they proved that he was having sex with a lot of the masseuses. I know they proved that. He admitted to that, but that was the extent of what we were able to determine, So it's a weird situation.
It's 2022. Everybody's fucking somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll wrap up. I'll wrap up on the Packers and just say, I think the NFC North is the Packers for at least the next 2 years.
Obviously,
we'll cross the bridge of what does 2024 look like.
The Bears suck.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Bears.
Detroit sucks.
Detroit
Y'all are killing me right now.
Can make a big jump and increase the record.
Minnesota's
winning 13 games. They're not winning 13 games. Minnesota's not winning 13 games.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even think a wild card team comes out of the North next year.
No.
And that's going to be hard to do.
It would be. I would like to, and I mentioned this probably about a month or two ago on here. I'd like to see the Lions. I think the Lions could do it. Things fall right. A few plays go different ways. They could end up with a 10-win team.
There ain't no miracle in hell that can fucking save Detroit. A government bailout couldn't even help the city of Detroit. The Lions ain't going to do shit for them. I'm on one tonight, aren't I?
Yeah.
Definitely, most definitely.
I'm already counting how many times you've interrupted me. So
sorry. Hey, but I like that take. I wish that the Lions could, do something. But yeah, that division's all y'all's.
Yep.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
It's free money right now.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what the odds are right now. If it's anything better than minus 150, take it.
It's Herms, what's your take? I think that this could go a different way. Herms, what do you think here, man?
I mean, I'm kind of picking it up from a point that Pat touched on, just because it puts so much onus on the defense, and in order for them to possibly even free up some money to do some other stuff, I mean, they have some bloated contracts that perhaps they could get themselves out of, but I mean, who knows? I don't know how much longer that window is open before free agency gets started. But at any rate, that shit is going to be fucking wild for them. Because anytime you invest a shit ton of money on either one side of the ball or the other, whatever side you didn't put a lot of the money into is just oh fuck, okay, shit, okay, all right, guys, all right, we got to do some shit. You know what I mean? That's gonna be interesting. And I think the other thing that's really fascinating about it is okay, so they're over whatever the fuck was going on. He got the bag. They're doing the thing. What does that mean for continuing to invest into the weapons around him? Yes, Devonta Adams is going to be back, but I'm pretty sure both Alan Lazard and Marquez Valdes-Scantling are going to be walking.
Going to be gone.
Yeah, they're going to have. So it's how does that work? You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question?
Do they take a receiver in the first round like fantasy people have wanted them to forever? I don't know, because they're gonna have
a receiver take a pay cut to come to them because it's Rodgers.
Possible.
Good point.
Good point. Lazard could take a pay cut to stay with what his role is. He likes what his role is in Green Bay, and he's done it well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to be fascinating is because does that commitment they're making to Rodgers means that they're also going to give into his demand of building around him, but also having to maintain the defense at the same time. Being able to balance those two things is such a delicate thing to be able to balance. Because the NFC North, the only other team that I think is even remotely good at this particular point in time is the Vikings, and even then, the delta between the Packers and the Vikings is sizable enough. It's obvious. My concern is not their success in the division. My concern is how far and granted, obviously they made it pretty fucking far, but they're betting on this being a title winning team, and it's such a tightrope to walk or whatever. I'm not even, I don't have any opinion one way or the other whether it's going to work, because we're not really going to know. But over the next couple of weeks, we're going to find out some moves that are going to be made that'll give us a better idea of what their odds are of doing that. And I am fucking fascinated to wait to see what fucking happens. That's going to be cool as shit, man. Dude, I'm pretty pumped. I don't really feel one way or the other about the Packers, but I don't know, just from a neutral standpoint, I'm fuck it. Let's see how this goes. I don't know.
I'm fascinated to see how that wide receiver 2 race works out.
Yeah.
I think if they can get a solid guy, I'm if they get a guy in the draft, regardless of who they get, I'm going to have questions because it's a rookie, right? I think that that's fair to have, kind of, to enter the season with some question marks on whether or not he's going to be able to truly be a 2 or not. But then also, to that point, it's like it's also Aaron Rodgers. Like I could see some guys being like, I'll come in on like a year prove it deal, and like I can see like an Emmanuel Sanders being like, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's like I don't think there's anything really stopping them from bringing back Bob Tonyan on the cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that could be fun.
Yeah. And I think that could happen.
Sounds feasible too.
Yeah.
It's a super interesting situation. David, what's your take? Really quick, Daniel and Leaf's comments. They're both comments back to back.
Yeah.
I love both of those comments. Yeah, just stop fucking up in the playoffs if you're the Packers. Because that's really what it is. And then Jordan Love is pretty much just keeping benches really heated.
Oh, one thing on Jordan Love, I heard a rumor, likely not happening. Love to the Colts potentially, because their management liked him pre-draft a ton.
They did, yeah.
What's his value at this point, though?
Talk shit,
fourth,
right? That's fucked.
I'll take a fourth to get rid of him, and I'll take any other backup quarterback.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah. For me, Daniel, honestly, that comment saying that they need to stop fucking up in the playoffs. That's basically speaking the gospel truth, really, with the Packers. And I'm not even trying to take a shot at the Packers because they've got every other upper hand on my fucking Bears, But the one thing I will say about them in terms of calling them out is that they got to stop falling short of the playoffs. I mean, this is 3 consecutive years they've went 13-3, and they have consistently missed the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. And I think honestly, they may be taking a step back this year because of, and what I mean by step back is not necessarily in terms of ruling the NFC North. Of course they're going to fucking rule the NFC North. My Bears are still a joke. They still got Aaron Rodgers. It's a done deal, like plain and simple, But it's sad to fucking admit it, but I've been in constant purgatory in this being a fucking Bears fan over the last 10 fucking years dealing with Aaron Rodgers. It's going to continue, But I do think they might fall short of the NFC Championship game potentially this year, this upcoming season, because they are in salary cap hell right now. They are even lower, and they're even higher in a deficit with the salary cap space than the New Orleans Saints, who we were clowning on. A lot of people were clowning on earlier about their lack of space.
The Aints, yeah. We talked about it on this show when we did the Sean Payton segment, 2-3 episodes ago, yeah.
Exactly. So, honestly, I think that's kind of sets them back if they're not able to find a way to work through these salary cap gymnastics and get Devontae Adams retained. They've got to get him retained. He's their number one guy. He's maybe the best receiver in the entire league. And you can't avoid going into you can't cope with going into the season this in 2022 without Devontae Adams as your number one guy when you don't have anyone anywhere near his caliber. I don't think anyone out there is going to be an 1,000-yard caliber receiver on this roster outside of a Devontae Adams. So I think it's imperative that they find a way to sign him back. But I think it goes to show money cures all, folks. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was bitching and moaning about, not getting enough help, with his roster, which I think he made certain arguments that were legitimate, in terms of, saying that you could have drafted receivers earlier. They had issues with the offensive line at times. Now it's not so much an issue anymore, but you sign him to the highest paid contract ever in NFL history. And now he's good to go. He wants to come back. Everything's all kosher. Everything's all great, for the long-term future now. I just find it interesting that that was the thing to, it totally kind of, in my opinion, kind of contradicted what he was saying earlier in previous years. But they're going to rule the NFC North, though. That's a done deal, But the playoffs, though, I think this decision may come back to bite them if they cannot work through the salary cap issues and bring back a Devontae Adams.
Kings of the North. We can, I think
it kills me to say it, but it's the truth. It's the
Raj, what's your take?
So I think one thing that we have to mention that no one has yet is that Devontae Adams did sign a non-exclusive tender. So there is still the possibility that he could be traded. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there has been talks of him getting traded, especially before.
It won't happen, but yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but something to keep in mind. As for Green Bay, I mean, she's going to lose in the NFC Championship again, right? I mean,
3 years, man.
That's
Three
that's
consecutive years.
that's just what they're gonna keep doing. I mean, they've proven themselves. That's kind of.
Do I need to wear a stab me in the back shirt? Like,
I'm
Here,
sorry,
just-
but the opportunity
just
presented
go
itself.
for it.
I mean,
And it's a
Friendly
championship.
fire!
Oh man, 3 times though. 3 times. Damn. You know?
Well, no, only twice.
Or was it? I'm sorry. 3 times you won
make it this
13-3.
year.
2 times NFC Championship game, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna lose in the NFC Championship. There you go. I'm sorry.
Toby.
I think this contract just starts off a 2-year window with Rodgers. At his age, Rodgers is probably going to want it front loaded on this 4-year deal. Just because, I mean, they had to cash out money to give him just for him to come back to Green Bay, so he's going to want it up front. You have a 2-year window. Devontae is probably going to be a Packer for this year, but we don't know the extent after that. There's a lot on the defense and restructures that you could see happen in the coming weeks, I think, with the way Preston Smith has been playing for the Packers and other guys like that. But it's a 2-year period now, and you're going to have to fix some of these holes in the draft because you're not going to get back some of these free agents.
Okay. Okay. So it seems like for the most part, like everyone on the panel is give or take on the same path.
I mean, they're a good team. You know? It's pretty hard to, you know.
The defense scares me a little bit.
But history also precedes them too. I mean, like it's been a while since we've been able to use the word Packer. Since damn it, why'd you do that? Why'd you do
Everything I can.
But
Only the finest from Stain.
But it's been a while since like you could use the words like and actually say these words with conviction. Like you can use the words Packers and dog shit in the same sentence. Like it's it's been a very like you haven't been able to say that for a really long time. You know, like
last time they were bad, I was not alive.
Exactly. So like, it's really hard. It's really hard to formulate a take on this team to kind of go against.
I will say something else about the Packers in a fantasy standpoint value. Aaron Jones is being shit on right now. Do we see how many pass
Let that
catchers are
happen.
leaving?
Let that happen. No, let that happen. Let that happen. Let that happen.
Thanks, Toby.
I'm just pointing it out there, especially in Dynasty.
Thanks, Toby.
Let that happen.
Like I've seen AJ Dillon go, AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones go a lot in the same spot in Dynasty drafts, and I think Aaron Jones is going to get a lot more pass catching opportunities with the way this team is looking to be like next year.
Hell yes.
I'll say
Mike.
one thing. Can't say one thing about the Packers defense.
I mean, you're
we
the
keep
Packers
shitting
fan.
on.
Yes.
Uh,
Go.
The Packers since the LaFleur's taken over, the Packers secondary has improved tremendously.
I love their
and
secondary.
has managed to take guys on prove-it deals. Rasul Douglas.
Yep.
Took Eric Stokes and made him look great this last year. You wouldn't have known that they were missing Jair the entire year based on their numbers.
For sure.
I'm
not
not worried
if
about
they
the
have
Packers
if they
against
have
the
to start
run.
bringing in guys off the street to play cornerback, I am not worried.
Adrian Amos has been nice for them too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What you
Savage
got,
was
Mike?
great.
What you got on this one,
Savage
Mike?
as well. Yeah.
So
we
I
can wrap
was
up the
gonna
topic.
I was going to bring up the Aaron Jones situation. The only thing I need to add, because I pretty much agree with everyone, Aaron Jones, in my opinion, will not be on the team in 2023. It's a 4-year deal. This is a 2nd-year deal, 2nd or the 4th year, and they have an out after this year because of all the money they're giving to Rodgers and hopefully keeping Devontae, and the fact that they have AJ Dillon in 2023. I am positive that Aaron Jones will not be in green and gold.
So Dylan's gonna be the bell cow then.
Yep, or they'll draft someone in the 3rd round. That's
We know how
that-
Robbie
this-
feels
this
about
was built-
AJ Dillon.
Not this season, but next season. Yeah, not this season, but I could see.
This
I
was
could maybe
this
see next
was
season.
an
Kylan
outbuilt
Hill
before
season.
I was about to say that.
this re-signing when the first bit of Aaron Rodgers drama was happening. They knew that this was coming. That some type of big blow up could happen. I like that there's that out there for them.
Okay. Let's see what. Let's see here. Well, let's get into the next topic. I like the way everyone broke that one down. I had a feeling that we were all pretty much going to be on the same wavelength on that one. This one, I don't think that we will. Carson Wentz is now the new. I'm sorry, Commander Carson is now the new quarterback for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, woohoo! Yeah. All right.
Is this an improvement?
Oh,
is this an improvement, or do they stay the same? So really quick, I will say, I think that it is a slight improvement. It's not a heavy improvement.
Yeah.
You get rid of a couple of interceptions that Heineke threw that Wentz more likely is not going to throw. You're going to get more touchdowns that Heineke wasn't able to make that Wentz will likely be able to make. You are going to have those about 5 games a season where Wentz just like completely blanks and like just like throws it all out the window. You are going to get a quarterback with a higher QBR. Like against
you mean like against Jacksonville?
Exactly.
God damn. Couldn't close it out against Jacksonville.
I think that this does allow Washington now to create a more balanced roster. Because what they're really, really also needing too is a wide receiver too. This possibly allows them to target Wilson at 10. I actually feel like it is a strategic move. Washington basically gave up little to nothing for Wentz. I felt like it was very fair. It was very amicable for both sides. I don't think that either side of the trade got shafted. I think it was good business on both parties. I think it's a slight improvement. I think it's a slight improvement. I don't think that this is fucking possible. Fuck no. The Giants are still dog shit. Dallas is getting worse, and I mean the Eagles are gonna be the Eagles.
Yeah, the Giants are the worst team in this division by some distance.
Yeah,
there is
by
absolutely no fucking way.
Washington will land second in this division under Wentz. I will say that Washington will land second in the division. The Eagles,
I'm not sure if the Eagles win the division next year. I don't know about that.
Not if Philly gets Watson. If Toby's right,
if Philly gets Watson, that's no longer Sirianni's team, and that's going to be a completely different playbook. If they do not land Watson, which I think there's a high possibility that Watson's going to look at Sirianni and be like, "You're an idiot." And fucking walk out. I really think that's how when a quarterback is smarter than a fucking coach, like when Jalen Hurts can even identify that you're not using me in the right way. I don't think you're exercising my strengths to the best of their abilities. There's a problem. Like he was terrible calling the run. He was terrible executing the run. I don't think that Watson ends up in Philly going back to that. I think that Washington, underneath Wentz, though, could land. It would go Dallas, Washington, Philly, New York. Is the way that I realistically think that it'd work. Mike, your take.
All right, so I do think it's a slight tick up for Heineke. I don't think it's enough of a tick up. That I think they should have gone for a bigger tick.
Yeah.
Or gone for a rookie, one of the two. I think they didn't make a big enough splash. But the one thing I do think this improves, I think this improves our boy Gibson, because I think instead of trying to go for the the hero ball or being a gunslinger like Heineke is, Wentz is going to be more apt to check the ball off. So I think Gibson's going to get a tick up in the passing game. And right now, in fantasy wise, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I think I think that you're right about that. We've seen it. We've seen it with Wentz, 22 TDs, 27 interceptions. That's not even what. That's never even been done.
7 interceptions.
Yeah, I was like, he had 7 picks last year. Yeah. You think he's gonna throw? He's gonna throw 27 this year? Like, what the?
I mean, if it is 2020 Wentz, you never know. I mean, he was awful that year.
But no, I think it is an uptick in the running game. I just hope they find a number 2 to give Terry McLaurin longevity, because McLaurin can't keep taking those types of hits. Pat, what do you think?
Actually, perfect segue, because I was going to talk about Terry McLaurin. a little nervous with him getting with Wentz. Wentz never really truly supported a true number one wide receiver. And you don't get fantasy points for defensive pass interference yards. So when Wentz underthrows him and he has to come back and fight through the coverage, McLaurin's not getting yards for that. Because that number is going to be upwards of 250.
But McLaurin also gets a lot of those contested catches. We also have to factor in that this playbook is gonna feature a lot more jet sweeps this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little bit. I think McLaurin's still wide receiver 2 for fantasy, but I don't think he makes that jump into wide receiver 1 that everyone's been waiting for the last 2 years. I don't think Wentz is that guy to bring him there.
Okay. Touche. Z2.
I mean, they must like Wentz in a sense. I mean, every team, if you look at the trade history of Carson Wentz, he's acquired 3 first-round picks, 2 seconds, 4 thirds, and a 4th over his career of being traded. That's insane.
Yeah.
I will give a slight uptick to most of your Washington playmakers just because I think he will be more consistent than a Taylor Heineke. And I think I will rebuttal to Pat's take. I think you see more consistency out of Terry McLaurin. I think Michael Pittman last year, we saw a little bit more of a constant wide receiver 2 from him.
Thank you, Pittman, for the fantasy trophy.
I don't think McLaurin's going to be a top 12 guy. I think he can slot in the range from anywhere from 14 to 18, which is fine with me. And they're still probably they could sneak in maybe the second best team in this division. 2 or 3 is where I'd have them. I think the Cowboys still have the edge to.
The Cowboys are starting to worry me. At first, day by day, the Cowboys are starting to worry me. So I have right now, and Dallas fans are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I have Dallas number 1 right now in the East." Mm-hmm. I think as this team continues to deteriorate, that quickly begins to alter.
It could very much so.
Like we'll see what's happening. I mean, Jerryville is starting to look a fucking mess. Like, and it's scaring me. Like, maybe. So I like that you brought that point up, Toby. It's the East is getting day by day. The East is getting more interesting.
The East right now, to me, is looking like maybe a 9-win team wins the East.
Like that's what I'm thinking.
Well, it's still the NFC least, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm thinking we're gonna see a complete like how as good as Dallas was last year. I don't think that Dallas is gonna be that good this year.
The only thing that'll change it for me is take it back to first topic. If Watson goes to Philly, that's
the only thing that changes.
That would change a lot for me, and where I see these top 3 teams and the Giants still at the bottom.
Yep. And the thing that makes me also think, I mean, aside from Sirianni, that Watson won't go to Philly, he's going to look at that receiving core and he's going to be like, fuck this. I want to do Hopkins. Like, I could go over here where I can get Godwin, or I can go over here where I can get DJ Moore. Like, so, it's that. Philly is giving me those old school 90s, early 2000s Philly vibes, like pre-Andy Reid vibes. Like we're not going to win a trophy anytime soon type of vibes. Mm-hmm. That's what like Vince Papale type shit. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking with Philly right now. Raj.
Shit. So I will say this: Carson Wentz, is he an improvement over Heineke? Yes.
Yeah. Obviously.
For the 5 or 6 games that he's gonna play, because he's made out of fucking glass. Like let's just be real. The dude he stays injured. So can we really consider an improvement? If he doesn't
stayed healthy most of last year. I think he only missed
behind the Colts O-line. Do you think he's going to do that with the Washington O-line? Let's be real.
They got a good O-line.
We have a good O-line.
Yeah, but they're losing.
I was going to say Sheriff's about to walk. I mean,
Sheriff's about to walk.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Sheriff is not retained,
considerably downgrades their O-line, man. Like, I mean, I don't think he stays healthy. Even if
they can still tag Sheriff, they don't have any outstanding free agents out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
But Sheriff didn't want to play last year on the tag, and he did. So you could see a holdout.
Yeah.
Also that.
I mean, but this is also an offensive line draft as well. Like
it is, but do you think they take an offensive lineman? What is it, 9th overall or whatever?
11th.
Or 11th overall after Ike Ekwonu, Charles Cross, Evan Neal are all off the board. I don't think they go line in the draft.
In the
Henning
words,
is not he's not the 11th overall pick. Let's be real, bro.
Freaking in the words of one of my favorite movies as a kid, Angels in the Outfield. It could happen.
Could it happen?
Anyone else got that reference? We're good.
Yeah. I remember that. And the angel thing.
You got an angel with you right now. Just got here.
I thought that was the corniest thing ever, honestly.
I love that movie. Don't judge me, please.
We all have our guilty pleasures. Mine was like Rookie of the Year. That was my guilty pleasure.
Oh, dude.
Rookie of the Year was a good ass movie.
It's kind of a guilty pleasure though for me. Like,
by the way, if you are happy that we have baseball this year, please have a drink right now.
Fuck yes.
I'll watch baseball.
Yeah, you're Canadian.
Yeah, you're
no Blue Jays love for you, Raj?
I mean, I'm a kind of Blue Jays fan. I guess I'm a Tigers fan by proxy more so than a Blue Jays fan.
Nice.
Yeah. Shut up, Pat.
You're so fat. Whose turn is it?
That's David.
Oh, it's David.
Shit.
I don't know how to count.
It's all good.
I got your back.
No, I think this helps him out a bit, and I think it could potentially help him out enough to maybe qualify for the playoffs. Honestly, as a wild card team, though, let me preface that most likely as a wild card team, I don't see the Cowboys devolving any further. But if they do, it's the Washington's division. If you ask me, it really is. If they start to really cough up like some more costly pieces, like Lyle Collins is supposedly going to be traded potentially on top of obviously Amari Cooper departing the team. If that happens and we start to see this team kind of crumble a little bit, because last year was a disappointing year for the Cowboys. They had loftier expectations than what they ultimately achieved. So if they continue to devolve like that, it's possible that the Washington could sneak away with this division again, kind of like they did the previous 2 years. But of course, this time they're probably going to win a little bit more than 7 fucking games.
Yeah.
But no, I like Carson Wentz from an upgrade standpoint compared to
we won 8 games last year. Yeah, so like I could see us being like a 10-win team.
No, I'm talking about 2020 though. When
my bad. I did not hear that part, and I apologize.
Oh no, you're all good. No, it's I think the thing with Carson Wentz though, that really drove me crazy. Like I still think he can make all the he could potentially make all the necessary throws for a team to succeed. It's just a matter of consistency. It's a matter of being clutch, and it's a matter of carrying teams on your back. And those are 3 things that he really struggled with over throughout the course of last year, especially in the second half of the season. Because he was nowhere near clutch compared to where he needed to be to get his team in the playoffs. And can he provide that necessary kind of oomph to the team to get them over the hump and get them in the playoffs? That remains to be seen, because we don't know if it kind of reminds me a little bit of like, and this is going to sound a little blasphemous, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Derek Carr in the sense that even though Carr's a better quarterback, Carr has not been the same since he broke his leg. Wentz has not been the same since he got injured in 2017, the year they went to the Super Bowl, because he was an MVP candidate that year prior to his injury. So it's a matter of, honestly, can he rectify those issues going into this season? Because that was clearly, the Colts team was clearly Jonathan Taylor's team as opposed to Carson Wentz's team, which wasn't necessarily a good thing to come to terms with in the second half of the season. And I think a big thing that can really help him out is, for one thing, getting Terry McLaurin the ball, because, that guy is on the verge of being a bona fide elite receiver. He is an absolute stud.
He's
from
right
a route
there.
running. Yeah. From a route running standpoint, he is unbelievable. So he just hasn't gotten his fair amount of support to really get him, those number 1 elite caliber type of numbers. And also Diami Brown. They've got to feature him in the offense more. He was mightily disappointing last year. He's too good to be putting up that kind of shitty production he did, even as a rookie, though. Because he was a rookie at the same time, but still that wasn't good enough compared to what we were expecting him to do. So I think those are really some big key points to really vault Washington back into the playoff conversation. I think they'll be better, but I could see them being a 10-win team, maybe an 11-win team. but nothing more than that unless Dallas was able to cough up even more than what they've already done.
Dallas is getting really scary right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like day by day, bro. Like I'm like I hate seeing it. I'm like, are they getting worse or are they balancing out? Like I don't know what's happening. Herms.
Well, Carson Wentz is he's an upgrade over Heineke by a pretty decent margin, and I am like very, very sick of seeing people be like, "Oh no, it's about the same." I'm like, it's intellectually dishonest. Carson Wentz is much better than
he is.
Like Taylor Heineke, come on, like just stop. And like
if you put them side by side, you are.
Yeah, I mean, like it's honestly,
the
mental gymnastics that are involved to even equate that it's fucking ridiculous. So yes, clearly they upgraded. Like no disrespect to the Heineke doing his thing. Fine, I'm happy for him. I think it's a great story that he just plucked off the street, thrown into a playoff game, and he did well. Great, dude's not very good. So like now, and when it comes to Carson Wentz, like people are just like, oh well, look at some of the recent years. It's been shitty. It's like, okay, look. In order to evaluate a team's success, not even just an individual success, but like a team success, you have to look at the ecosystem of an entire offense. When people look at like, oh, look at what he did in 2020, he was fucking. It was. They threw him in a flaming dumpster. We're like, hey, win with this. Like, how's that fucking his whatever? Okay, so whatever. Point is, the thing that they really have to be worried about, honestly, really isn't even that side of the football. The only thing I'm really concerned about is the fact that the defense flopped. And we were really excited last offseason bringing in a cornerback like William Jackson, who I was on the show, and we talked about his signing and the fact that like, seeing him twice a year in a Bengals uniform as a Steelers fan, it's like he was really good at taking away a team's top receiver. Very good. We did not really see that kind of output. It was a little disappointing. And also it was kind of
and Chase Young was injured too. Yeah.
And it was alarming that Chase Young got hurt, but also they were like weirdly still stable-ish without him in the lineup. Could be a good thing, could be I don't fucking know. I don't know what to make of it. And that's kind of why I'm just like, look, my concerns about the team have way more to do with, is the defense going to elevate itself back up to the standard that they set for themselves 2 seasons ago? That means way more to me than anything else, because like you can survive in this division with a mediocre but still functional offense. It has been done repeatedly in the past. A lot of the teams that do really well making it out of the NFC East every single year, the thing that a lot of them have in common, pretty fucking good defenses. Like, I mean, there's
Giants,
Yeah, anytime the Giants were super good. That year that Philly was super good or whatever, like, that was the best. That defense has looked for a while.
They were great.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, honestly, like that's going to be their ticket more than anything else. Like, does it help that they moved up over Heineke? Sure. Are they going to have other things to figure out on the offensive side? Sure. That is not even remotely what I'm worried about when it comes to the real life implication of what this team could be. The other side of the ball is the strength that needs to rebound. I don't give a fuck about what's happening.
I think that and this happens every year during free agency. There is a lot of forgetting that football is a team sport, and we're going to be and on the second half of the show, we're going to be talking about another quarterback who's moved, and we're going to break down how hey, like this at the end of the day, this is a team sport. You're seeing a lot of takes out there where, oh well, I see a lot of dumb bullshit takes. Oh well, that one receiver doesn't equate to two of the or that one person's guy, or the people aren't really looking at skill sets and play schemes and things of that nature. So I love that you said that, Herms. It sounds like you're coming from more so of a place of like, I think that we really need to be evaluating this from a standpoint of it's a team game, it's a team sport. And if this team can perform on all 3 phases, or if this team can, like you said, especially get that defense clicking again, I think your analysis is what people really need to be hearing. In regards to this situation, and I think it can be used in multiple situations that are happening this offseason. A lot of people are finding themselves getting very overzealous, or either not getting hype enough about a move.
Because like we see this all the time, and like there are just so many like underlying narratives that people really believe in that just like aren't really, because like, and like I said, like the reason that this trade is super good or whatever, and the reason why like comparing him like insanely overboard negatively in the past is just because the entire ecosystem of an offense has to be taken into account. You know what I mean? Like and we're gonna hear all sorts of similar shit where people are gonna talk about, oh, this move is bad for this reason, blah blah blah, and like just a fun bonus. I'm not gonna go super deep in it, but like the people that are like, oh, well, if I'm on Ross St. Brown, you know, shit, if they bring in another receiver, he's fucked. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Okay, so
like we don't know. Like we don't know that yet.
Yeah, because like if a guaranteed number of targets goes down, but the quality of each target goes up, how's that a fucking problem? Like I'm sorry. Like it just like it's just
that's a conversation that people are not ready to have. That is a conversation
I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I can't do it with these people.
Can't do it.
Let's go ahead. We're gonna do a little shotty really quick before the second half of the show here, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned in here to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It is your boy Rumboyz Robbie, teamed up with all of my favorite Pirates. We got Mike, we got Pat, we got Z2 Toby, we got Raji Harris, we got the homie Dave representing overtime. We got Herms up in here representing the pros. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you guys like, make sure that you comment, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you're getting to know each other in the live chat. We appreciate everyone that's been donating. We have a lot to talk about on the second half of the show. During halftime, download the Stacks app. React to the show on the Stacks app if you have not already. Get into our bracketology tournament. Fill out even if you're not into college basketball, just fucking fill out a bracket for fun. And even if you've never had an autographed jersey, you know, if you've never had, you know, anything like that. Like we're giving away prizes. We're giving away so much shit. We've already leaked one prize. We've already leaked the grand prize. One of the greatest college basketball players of all time in Glenn Rice, autographed jersey. Awesome. Like you guys got to download the Stacks app. We're gonna get into some music really quick. I'm gonna keep promoting my homie Turk Too Ill, because homie just had a daughter. So the more plays and the more people that hear his music, the more that like he can use music to provide for his family. So we gonna show love. This is what we doing. This is that off top. Let's go.
Hope they really feelin' when they see a nigga run it off top. No, a nigga can't be stopped. Poppin' like corn in the pot. You know that I'm hot. That homie just rolled on the op. He foiled the plot. Now we controllin' the spot. Bustin', I'm shootin' my shot. Thinking I'm liking them not. Just stay in your slot. My niggas be getting the guap. Increasing the pot. Now we can't fold up the knot. No, a nigga rhyme with the Draco. Yeah. Bitches gon' do what I say so. Yeah. Smash on your bitch, then I lay low. Yeah. If I slide on the op, that's a KO. Okay. Put the dot on his top, that's a halo. Push button start, can't find no keys. Foot on the pedal screaming, fuck the police. No, I do it for the people, no just and no pay. Doing GTA in the GTO. Niggas see me coming, going past the mode. Better watch it, ho, going savage mode. Boy, the chains on the neck like mop and gloves. She know I got the juice like you. And don't squat when I piss like you. Damn. Allergic to the fake, I chew. Bitch, I'm married to the game, I do. Handle my business, rolling a wrist, fresh minute. Windows on the whip, they tinted. Told the swipe with the car, no limit. About to go and bust it down, I'll be back in a minute. Run it off top, no a nigga can't be stopped. Popping like corn in the pot, you know that I'm hot. That homie just rolled on the op, he foiled the plot. Now we controlling the spot, bustin', I'm shooting my shot. Thinking I'm liking them not, just stay in your slot. My niggas be getting the guap, increasing the pot. Now we can't fold up the knot.
100 ways I can reach you and beat you. Put you in the dog and mistreat you, leeches. Heard around town I'm a cocky bastard, cause I got charm and I smile when I greet you. Bitches get lost, got them gone off the meter. Crazy white girls got them gone off the Easter. I can get you touch, I don't need no reason. So you better watch your mouth when you talking to the chief. But I be living life easy, daughter named Breeze. Giving her the world, throw the stars in the sea. Throwing money in the air, every fall you can keep. They can see everywhere where the diamonds are gleam. When I jumped off the porch, then I jumped in the pool. Know your bitch wanna fuck, yes I know this of course. I told her slide through, I got room for us both. And she came with a friend, I let things run its course.
Run it off top, no a nigga can't be stopped. Popping like corn in the pot, you know that I'm hot. That homie just rolled on the op, he foiled the plot. Now we controlling the spot, bustin', I'm shooting my shot. Thinking I'm liking them not, just stay in your slot. My niggas be getting the guap, increasing the pot. Now we can't fold up the knot.
Getting lost, getting gone off the meter. Crazy white girls got them gone off the Easter. I can get you touched, don't need no reason. So you better watch your mouth when you talking to the chief. Bitches getting lost, getting gone off the meter. Crazy white girls got them gone off the Easter. I can get you touched, don't need no reason. So you better watch your mouth when you talking to the chief.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a monkey knife fight.
And one day, they met one-team partners. And the NFLPA...
It's a match made in the pits of a monkey knife fight.
And everyone lived happily ever after.
Are you listening? This is big.
What is a monkey knife fight?
You know, it's thing monkeys, knives, you get it. Fantasy sports is monkey knife fight. And monkey knife fight is fantasy sports.
Monkey knife fight is daily fantasy.
Monkey knife fight in the house.
I am Monkey Knife Fight.
You are Monkey Knife Fight.
We are all Monkey Knife Fight.
Monkey Knife Fight.
You have the NFLPA behind the company.
It's exciting for me to be a part of fantasy sports.
When I think of fantasy sports, I think of beating all my buddies year in and year out and being able to brag about it.
We're not just partners in it.
We're owners.
And it feels awesome to be an owner.
I challenge you to a monkey knife fight.
We've been saving you a seat at the table, Monkey Knife Fight.
Welcome to the one team and NFLPA family.
Monkey Knife Fight. Welcome to the family, Monkey Knife Fight.
Welcome to the game, Monkey Knife Fight.
Monkey Knife Fight!
I challenge you to a monkey knife fight.
Monkey Knife Fight!
Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife Fight, Monkey Knife.
Monkey Knife Fight.
Have a big announcement.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie, and we are introducing Stackatology. March Madness is here, and it's time to get those brackets filled out. So you gotta do so with our Stackatology tournament. Somebody told me we got an autographed Glenn Rice jersey, and as well as
tons of awesome prizes.
But in order to win any prizes, you have to have an active Stacks account. So go ahead, sign up for the Stacks app, use the link here, and join our Stackatology tournament. Yeah.
She said she wanna roll with me and smoke up on my way. I said, baby, you gotta
way down in Kokomo.
Fucking Beach Boys or some shit.
Hey, that beat is so hard. I love that Chill Bill beat. That shit is so fire. Make sure you guys join our Stackatology tournament. Bracketology season is here. I gotta stash the crown for the homie good old boys Derek, man. He won last year. It was down to the wire. So yeah, I gotta come for the crown. Panel, make sure you guys fill out a bracket.
I got smoked last year. I got smoked last year.
Yo, fucking
not
the last time I had a perfect bracket. 0.4% of Americans predicted the exact correct score. Guess who's in that 0.4?
Who is it?
2017. I was in it. Fucking North Carolina versus Kentucky, bro. When I tell you I paid my fucking rent for like I front loaded that shit for like a year. It was great. Hey, whoever says gambling can't pay bills, you ain't living life by the thrill, okay?
Is Warren Buffett still doing that bet where whoever gets a perfect bracket, he's going to give you like $1 billion or some shit? I thought didn't he do something like that?
No, he did do something like that. I don't know if he's still doing that, but like if he is, bro, yo,
yeah, why not hop on it? You know,
Big Bank Buffett, hit me up, baby. Let's go. Hey, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rum Boys and girls. What it do, dilly. I love and appreciate all of you guys, all of our viewers. We're about to get right back here into the show. Oh my god, I almost died. Give me a second. Oh my god.
While you're getting yourself situated, I have a fun fact that I found out about the Wentz situation. It's funny that he got traded away from Indy before the pick that they traded to get him has been used.
Really?
Yeah.
Philly hasn't used the first round pick, and he's already off the team.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Jesus.
Toby, did you have a good halftime?
Yes.
Good,
Although
good.
I have a fun mini.
I also got some more sweet tea.
I have a fun mini
Stage
bonus question, just because I'm really curious what people think. What the fuck is Indy supposed to do? They didn't have an exit strategy.
Exactly.
Zero exit strategy.
They got a ton of cap space. They have the most cap space in the league, but it's like no one's available now.
No one wants to
really
play in
sign
Indy.
as a free agent. That's going to
No
really
one wants
boost
to play in
your
Indy.
Because I was thinking
Mitch Trubisky, baby.
Yeah. And that could
Fuck
be
yeah.
because I think I get why
I'm
they
going to throw.
tried to
I'm
do
going to
what they
throw.
did, but,
No, I'm going to throw a funny one out there that actually could work as a stopgap. Could they go after Jacoby Brissett
again?
The Colts get him again. It's so underwhelming,
I
I'd
know,
rather
but
go
I'm
after
saying-
Mariota.
I would love a
Well,
Mariota.
yeah.
That would be great. With
direct
Frank Reich,
snap
oh, yes.
to Jonathan Taylor every play.
Every play, yeah.
Wildcat every fucking.
That point. Yeah.
So we do have to. We're going to entertain the home base HQ really quick. We rarely ever talk about this team unless we're completely. Well, hold on. We rarely ever talk about this team unless we are completely just eviscerating them. One, our headquarters is here. Two, their fan base is quite delusional, but maybe they can remove the rose-tinted glasses and we'll see. Russell Wilson is making a move here to the Mile High city of Denver. Many always said the Broncos were a quarterback away. Do you believe, and do they finally have their guy? And should the AFC West be scared? And shout out to Slap Yourself Entertainment in the chat with the $5 Dono hype. I'm not taking a shot after I did that last shot. Mike, take it away.
This is a hard one for me. I'm a little more afraid. Am I completely afraid? No. I still.
Here comes the hate.
The offense is good. Don't get me wrong. I still am interested to see what they do on the other side of the ball. I know we have another topic coming up that I still think is going to be a big determinant in the AFC West, so I don't want to give that away yet. Do I think they have a chance? Yes. The biggest thing to me is if I am the Raiders, I am selling Derek Carr now because he is at his highest value, and they are way below
I don't think
the other three.
I don't.
They're not going to. But what I'm saying is, I think the other three are so much higher than the Raiders that if you're going to get the value for them, you get it now because you're not going to win for 3 or 4 years.
I'm going to be honest. The consensus that I
Didn't they
gathered
make the playoffs.
There could be 4 teams coming out of the division for the playoffs. It's it's technically possible now.
It is possible. Very unlikely, but it is possible.
It's possible.
Fuck. I think that it compels the Raiders to keep Carr and get them a solid 2. What I saw when this Russell Wilson news came out, I saw Denver fans be happy. I saw Chiefs fans not really shaking their boots too crazy because it's like you got fucking Patrick Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
And all you need is a 2 for real. I didn't see Chargers fans get too overly, scared either because that same day they had also re-signed Mike Williams. I saw Raiders fans get scared, which makes me think that the organization as well. I think that just baby shit went out the window real quick when Russell Wilson arrived in Denver. I think that defense, to your point, Mike, and I'm not going at you because you're a Chiefs fan, okay? I'm not trying to crush your hopes and dreams, but I am saying that defense is young enough and stout enough to put together and compete and put together some wins. Now, will those wins be necessarily good enough within the division between, the Chiefs? I'm not worried about the Raiders at this point. I could give 2 fucks about the Raiders at this point. I worry how that 3-way race is going to go between Kansas City, Denver, and Los Angeles.
The only thing I want to add to that is my next point, or when we get to the other question, I'm holding my tongue right now for but I'm holding my tongue for a reason. I know because we're
We're going to be talking about this division for a hot minute here. Pat.
What does this mean for Denver? An extra 2 wins, maybe 3. Puts them at 9-10 wins right on that wild card. It's not a win the division move without like massive injuries in the division. Like they need some things to go right. Judy and Sutton are not DK and Lockett. So
I think they have different skill sets that make them just as dangerous.
They have different skill sets, but I don't think either of them are hitting the ceiling that either of Lockett or DK hit.
I don't know.
And is there's some question marks there, but I think the Seahawks are a better team. Not Seahawks, sorry. The Broncos are a better team.
Mm-hmm. Because it's an overall improvement. It's an overall improvement.
It hurts.
It's that Peyton Manning shit all over again. It's what it feels like.
Earlier, when that move came out that night, I made a meme of like the 3-headed dragons, but I added it in a fourth one. And Carr's the odd quarterback out there. And you see like the picture, like the grumpy Carr on the sideline picture. He's gonna get you. Carr's not scary. I don't think I've seen a team, an NFL team fan base be like, "Oh, we have to face Derek Carr." Oh shit! Have they done that for Herbert?
Yes. I'm scared.
Have they done that for Russell Wilson? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Have they done that for Mahomes? Hell yes. Mm-hmm. And people be like, "But they led the Raiders to the postseason. They got to the postseason." And I'm like, so. Jalen Hurts went to the fucking postseason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They were lucky. The Raiders were lucky.
What's an argument?
Yeah.
If I'm a Raiders fan, I am scared shitless right now because my little tiny crack in the window that I thought I could get my fingers into and push up. Big bad Russell Wilson just came in and sat on top of that window and crushed your fingers.
I'm literally
going, oh!
I'm legitimately like, so you know how last season, I mean, Pat, you were here on all of our pregame shows and shit like that. How like we were like, yo, put money on Vegas, I'm putting money on Denver a lot this year. Yeah. I'm ready to ride, baby. Fucking crazy train, Ozzy Osbourne style. Let's go.
And the Raiders weren't favorites for those games.
No,
that was the issue.
I also just knew my shit that fucking well too. Like, and I'm back on my bullshit, baby.
What I'm saying is they outperformed expectations last year.
Yeah, they did.
They're not outperforming expectations going into this year and beyond.
No. Yeah, Crosby did get paid today. Crosby did get paid.
He's nice.
Bombay, champagne, and lemonade. Hey, Z2, what you thinking, bro?
I mean, Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. They're going to get a lot of hype coming into this season, but we think the offense is going to be great, but I will focus on the other side of the ball. Mm-hmm. You traded away your sack leader. Granted, Bradley Chubb was out, and Shelby Harris. You had a revolving door at linebacker, and A.J. Johnson is a free agent coming up. So you got to you have a great back end secondary to face these quarterbacks, but if you're going to give them 3-4 seconds to stand back here in the pocket, it doesn't do any good to have a great secondary. So I want to see them bring in a pass rusher, a decent linebacker, and this team is going to make some noise, but we have to see Russell Wilson also play a second half of the season as well. Because honestly, on paper, this offense looks like the Seattle team that he just came from, except they have a decently upgraded offensive line and a tight end. That's about it.
And what they're getting at Albert O. I mean, what Russell Wilson's getting out of Albert O is a guy that can go out there and he can make the catches, use his big body to box out and make those catches. But he's also getting a guy that can block. And that's something that typically really wasn't happening in Seattle. He never had a consistent tight end. It was always, I have one. It's looking good. Will Dissy gets injured. Like it was always some shit.
He's also
Jimmy Graham for a couple of years.
He's also coming from a division in the NFC West. When you see a division game, it's a 1 touchdown field goal game.
Yeah,
and you see
very
all
close.
these teams play, and now you're going to an AFC West team division that's going to score points on you, whether you have the Broncos secondary or not. So we're going to have to see Russell Wilson step up in these division games, and will he? That's the question. Like, Russell Wilson's a great quarterback, top 10, but
he's
past
got
couple
to face
seasons, the second half of the season. Granted, most of the Broncos division games are in the first half of the season.
Valid point.
Well,
we
don't know yet.
Predicted.
Raj, predicted. Yeah, Raj.
Ooh, okay. So when we're looking at obviously, okay, I'm just gonna reiterate the point everyone said already. Russ Wilson, obvious upgrade. He's gonna make their team better. Give them 3-4 more wins, whatever it is. Push them into the playoffs. I think that's kind of a given at this point. But the point about their defense, I like that. Toby was talking about that. They have, what is it? I think number 9 overall. They could very easily bolster that D line just with that pick.
Yeah,
they could pick up a Jordan Davis, a David Ojabo, Trayvon Walker, right?
Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah.
They did have number 9 overall.
Yeah, they traded it.
Oh, fuck me.
It's number 11 now, right?
No.
Isn't it?
Washington is 11.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
we have
They don't have
a pick now. Fuck me, I forgot.
Next 2 years.
Damn, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, okay, fuck it.
2 years.
For price of Russell Wilson right there.
Oh yeah,
that's
they're
right.
fucked.
They don't. Yeah. Wow, I forgot that.
Forgot about that. Forgot they don't have picks anymore. Well, there goes my whole fucking point. I don't know what to say.
Look to find a pass rusher in free agency.
They could definitely find. They could definitely find a pass rusher in free agency.
Yeah, I mean, Von Miller seemingly wants to come back. If the Rams,
I'm reading about Chandler Jones potentially.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones.
I mean, there's some older guys they can bring in to sit next to Bradley Chubb. Malik Reed wasn't that bad last year in the pass rushing opportunities he got. So they have some options there, but just trying to solidify a guy that is going to get sacks outside of Bradley Chubb and play the run in the middle, because Shelby Harris was a great
Shelby Harris is amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
It sounded like you were saying Chubb's getting sex.
I know. I'm like, this guy fucks.
Like, this guy
He's getting sex. He's getting sex. Sex with Chubb.
Fuck.
After that take, I feel like I know way too much about the Broncos.
Yeah, I know. Since when did this show become like the fucking Denver Broncos show? I don't know. It feels really weird, like talking about that team right now. David, your take.
Yeah, I think they absolutely landed their guy. This is I think this, for anyone who thinks this is just 2 or 3 wins, boosting them from, their previous 7-win season last year, I think they're undercutting it a little bit. I see this being a bare minimum 12-win season next year with Russell Wilson, maybe even as high as 14 wins. I really think so. Honestly, I like the potential of this receiving core. You got KJ Hamler, you got Cortland Sutton, who could be your bona fide number 1. And then Judy, if he can stay healthy. I mean, that's a big thing, obviously. And even with Hamler, too, who obviously came down with some injuries.
Tim Patrick as well.
Tim Patrick's a great compliment in that receiving core. He is super underrated, honestly. He could be even a number 2 himself, like him on, by himself, on his own. A really good number 2. Like I've said, I'm very high on Russell Wilson. I think he's the top 3 quarterback in the league when he's healthy. Clearly, that wasn't the case last year, where he had that finger injury that seemed to plague him for a lot of the year after that Rams Monday Night Football game. Or I think it was a Thursday night game, but either way. And so I think, honestly, getting him, it really boosts their stock. This is a very talented team. This is something I have been preaching a lot in this offseason. If the Broncos can get their quarterback, they're taking it to the next level, honestly. They're going to be an instant AFC contender. And I think, honestly, the expectation, the floor of the Broncos, as far as expectations are concerned, has to be the AFC Championship game. They've got to be right there with the Kansas City Chiefs in terms of those teams that are the top 2 contenders to come out of the AFC. Right now for Russell too, this is a better situation for him than playing with the Seahawks. He finally has an actual competent offensive line protecting for him. You've got Garrett Bowles, who's a ridiculously underrated left tackle, with Dalton Risner, Lloyd Cushenberry, Bobby Massey, a lot of great talent on there. Not to mention they added their offensive line coach from the 49ers and Butch Berry, who did some great things with Trent Williams and Mike McGlinchey over there. So I'm really feeling optimistic about this team. And you got that, no one's even brought it up, on top of the receiving core, that 1-2 punch they have out in the backfield with Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams is going to be filthy, I think, next year.
So to honestly be coupled with to be compounded with, or to be joining these particular players, honestly, offensively, I think is really going to bode well for him. And defensively, I really think they're a couple pieces away, notably in the defensive line, from getting to that spot. But or to really be a bona fide elite defense. But I really still feel optimistic about their chances. I think it really puts a lot of pressure, though, on the Raiders to really be a team to find their fitting in this division when everyone else is on the come up, and the Chiefs are obviously still reigning supreme compared to everyone else. Because the Raiders dealing with Josh McDaniels, in his previous time with Denver, that's become a huge concern. They have an absolutely atrocious offensive line. So it really puts them, with their backs against the corner to have to fight their way to contend in this division. So for them, it's a huge eye opener of a situation of adversity. But for the Broncos, man, I really think this team could be a legitimate AFC contender this year, and it's in large part because of what Russell can do from a passing and from a rushing standpoint.
And he'll look pretty good in the color orange. And also something that has not been brought up. Yeah. The biggest winner in this entire thing is the city of Denver, not for acquiring Russell Wilson, but for acquiring Ciara. That is the real. Okay, let's be real. That's a huge W. I mean,
two-step.
Yeah, honestly, Ciara coming to Denver is the biggest W. If we're really breaking this down in the most accurate way possible, that is the first point that has to be made.
1-2 step was my middle school jam, so hell yeah, I'm down for
there
that.
You go. Is Robbie still frozen?
Yes.
Yeah, he looks like he's just petrified or something.
Yeah.
He is mad at Mike for his last take.
He's like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
He's got that disappointed dad look.
But so as far as a lot of this stuff goes, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to start on a little bit of a different note. I think y'all are completely underselling how good the Raiders already are, first and foremost. We're talking about a Broncos team. It's just what they need to. I was they got to get pressure to the quarterback. How are they going to figure that out? I don't know. You know what team doesn't have that fucking problem that already has that? You know what I mean? The Raiders are pretty fucking good at that. That's one of the reasons they were able to get as far as they did. And yes, Derek Carr, if we're just ranking all four at the bottom, but working with somebody like Josh McDaniels, who is very good at scheming up very simple offenses in which Carr can manage his way through a lot of the steps and all this stuff. That is what Carr is extremely fucking good at. Yes, he is not an elite level otherworldly, but if we're looking at just who's one of him and Kirk Cousins stand alone in a tier of if you're not going to have a guy that's a game breaker, who do you want to trust to just manage the game and not fuck up? You're going to take a guy like that. And the reason that McDaniels, at least in my opinion, was such a good hire is the fact that what the philosophy he's going to bring to that offense with the pieces that are already in place with people like Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, and being able to feature Josh Jacobs even more. Who knows what Kenyon Drake's going to be? Maybe he could be more utilized to alleviate some pressure. We didn't see a ton of him last year until around the second half of the season. That could be interesting. I don't know. Regardless, I think they don't have nearly as many deficiencies as people think they do. And that is the reason I wanted to start with that point is because it's the launching point of I am of the mindset that I'm pouring water on it a little bit, but I do see this as 2 or 3 more wins for the Broncos. It helps them a ton. It closes the gap between them and who is above them. But at the same time, who's behind them is still very, very good. And that's what makes this division so fascinating. And what I'm really interested to see more for them than anything else is seeing what the Chargers do on defense, because that's the success of the Broncos in terms of how high they can leapfrog up the division is predicated, honestly, not even on some of the other shit that they do, because Von Miller has already verbally come out and said, it was Instagram Live, hey, what up, Bronco Nation? Okay, we can pencil that in. Yeah. I feel he wouldn't just fucking say that. He really wants to go back. So they'll help that. They'll fix that. I want to know what the Chargers are going to do to overcome having the worst run defense in Football Outsiders DVOA in order to be able to elevate themselves. You know what I mean? It's an arms race from all of them to push upward. Every team in that division is looking to push upward.
Well, we're lucky enough we're lucky enough to be able to segue right into that. Khalil Mack now teams up with Joey Bosa of the Los Angeles Chargers. Is this what the Chargers needed to take the next step? Also, they re-signed Mike Williams.
Look at that fucking
Thank you for buying me some time. Thank you for buying me some time.
I
I noticed that you were doing it. I was like, he's trying to tee it. He's trying to tee it up and wait for the connection to reconnect. Good shit. Go ahead, bro. Go. You start off this topic.
That is going to be a tremendous help. I am still really worried about what they're gonna do, particularly at the D tackle spot. Like that's like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude. And also, like, I mean, like, it's cool. I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, it's also like, man, like that secondary has like under-delivered just relative to the talent that exists there, and for injuries and stuff like that, things beyond their control. I'm not, saying that anybody's particularly bad, but it's just like they've had a hard time staying healthy in that regard. So, like, honestly, like in terms of what this is going to do for the Chargers, it's just like, what have we said about the Chargers defense for the past like 5 years? Like, yeah, they got a lot of talent there. Mm-hmm. Are they going to be healthy? You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit of an oversimplification, I know, but like, it's kind of true. And I mean, it's fascinating to see that it's just like, well, I mean, the team that we shared the stadium with did a really good job with this trading for, an older linebacker to help bolster things. Why don't we get one of our own?
Why don't we try and do it? Like,
I admire it. It's just like, it's a copycat league, but like, Khalil Mack, I mean, honestly, like, yo, dude, like,
do you feel like between the re-sign of Williams and then bringing in Khalil Mack, like we see this in other sports as well with this one particular market. Do you think that this is just the most LA, like typical LA shit ever? Bring a big name, sell tickets.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it is a very LA thing, and unfortunately, it doesn't really alleviate the concerns that I have with the team.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like I said, to a degree, it does.
But they dropped like 7 DBs like every fucking formation. Like they're ready. They're ready.
They got a great secondary.
Yeah, they're ready to go heads up against anyone that'll pass against them. Like, I mean,
I'm hoping that a lot of that works out. You know what I mean? But it's just like the whole thing that we're talking about in this entire topic is that the entire division itself is doing everything it can to lift themselves up. You know what I mean? Like I want to really wait and see what happens, like through free agency and through the draft, before we can really make any big definitive statements, because all of those teams, also the Chiefs are, they sit atop, but like 2 through 4, like they're a lot closer together than I think people are giving it credit for. I really, really need to see what specifically these teams do to fill in the gaps and solve some of the deficiencies that they have. You know what I mean? Like, it's very early to tell. But as far as the Chargers go, to end my take or whatever, like, I'm still looking at that D tackle. That's where my shit's looking at first. Mac is nice, but show me a D tackle that can really gum shit up.
Jordan Davis.
Sorry. Hey, but,
okay.
Okay, I like that take. I was expecting more of a more. That was a very harsh take on the Chargers. Chargers fans.
Oh no, their offense is fucking awesome. Man.
No, but no. What I interpreted your take is so like if I was a Chargers fan, I was listening to your take, I'd be like, he's right. We need if you're the Chargers, it's been so long.
Yeah, it's like be happy, but don't get too confident. You can't get too confident.
But it's also like, ring or bust for them. Like I feel like they're in a constant ring or bust situation. Yeah, like you haven't gotten one yet. Fucking do it. Like it's not that you're not.
Yeah, the flashbacks to all those years with like we had Rivers, Gates, LT. What do we have to show for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's not that they're not. It's not that they're not capable. You're capable of fucking getting a ring. Out of everyone that's remaining that has never ever gotten one.
Yeah,
you're capable. Like, so I that's the way I interpret your take terms, and I thought that it was very astute. And I think that Chargers fans should go back and really kind of revisit that later in the season. Chargers fans, I think it'll pay off for you to save that one in your camera reel. David.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm a Chargers fan, I love it. If I'm a Bears fan, which I am, I fucking hate it because they basically got Khalil Mack for an absolute bargain. I mean, a 2nd and a 6 is ridiculously cheap for a guy who's still very much in his prime. He's still an elite pass rusher, and he's still going to wreak havoc on opposing quarterbacks in the AFC West. Do I think this puts them to the next, brings them to the next step? I think they're above the Raiders, and in large part, what I was alluding to earlier was that the reason why I had hesitation about the Raiders was because of the head coaching situation with Josh McDaniels, and considering his history with Denver. Has he learned from those ways? I don't know yet. So they're certainly right ahead of the Raiders in the division right now to contend. Probably a step behind the Broncos, but you know what would significantly vault them a step above the Broncos and maybe even the Chiefs. I'm serious. Getting Bobby Wagner to join the team. Sign him ASAP.
They have the cap space. They have the cap space.
Exactly.
They have the fucking cap space. Tom Telesco, get your fucking ass on the phone and call Bobby Wagner right now if you want to win this division. Because that is an instant.
Thanks, David.
Seriously, sorry to do that to you, Mike, but your days as a Chiefs fan, prior to winning the division, they're numbered. Okay,
it's being talked. That was my point. That was Bobby Wagner was one of my selling points.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I really think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
If the Chargers can put together a squad both offensively and defensively, and then have just the right amount of guys on the right personnel on special teams.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the amount of bandwagon Bengals fans there all of a sudden fucking became to be, and it was the greatest. Bro, I've always respected the Bengals. I've always loved the Bengals, bro. Fuck. To me, that was the coolest jersey back in the 90s was the Bengals, bro. Who else was wearing tiger stripes and hitting you? That. When I was 4 and I knew nothing about football, I was like, yeah, that's cool. But no, for real, I love seeing that. Me being a football aside, right? Me being a marketing specialist, seeing a team go from nothing to something and then be able to rake in a shit ton of money on the jersey sales, the fucking Madden covers, the magazine, just everything, and just go full hog is I love it. Who'd have ever thought that Cincinnati would have ever been a place? No one would have ever man. So I love that take, because if the Chargers can do it,
yeah. The thing I worry about though is with the Chargers, because they have a very talented roster, obviously offensively, and the quarterback's still on a rookie.
They have
deal.
no 12th man, bro. They have no 12th man.
Oh yeah, that's for one thing.
Yeah.
They value fucking Comic-Con over going to a Chargers game up there, at least when they were in San Diego, I should say. But year in and year out, I've always felt optimistic about the Chargers' potential chances to win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl. But the thing that constantly seems to bite them in the ass is they were never really clutch enough to get it done during the Phillip Rivers days.
There's no clutch. There's no clutch.
No clutchness to get it done when it matters the most. And
they're in LA. Maybe Mamba mentality takes over.
Honestly, that it needs to. They need to get over the hump, and this is if they sign Bobby Wagner, I think that gives them the best chance. I think they're already a playoff team. They're going to go to the playoffs next year, but right now I would say they're third. But if they want to vault themselves to the top, you got to sign your boy B Wags. You got to sign him.
Like you said, vault and Chargers. Go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Wagner to the Chargers was also kind of going to be my main point. Mainly due to the fact that they have Kenneth Walker there, the 23-year-old middle line. Kenneth Walker, he's 23 years old. Having Bobby Wagner.
You mean Kenneth Murray?
Kenneth Murray.
Kenneth Murray, my bad. Yeah, not Kenneth Walker.
Get off your Kenneth Walker hype train.
That man destroyed my Wolverines too many times. He's just fucking stuck in my head. But yeah, okay. Kenneth Murray. 23 years old, showed some flashes of promise, and then just signing probably the best interior linebacker of the past decade.
Yeah.
Put him next to him, have him mentor Kenneth Murray. And you're fucking set. So maybe they'll still have holes on the D line. Fucking bring in Jordan Davis at 17th overall. And then again, their front seven is solidified at that point. Yes, their left and right end aren't great. But when looking at their defense, having Khalil Mack, having Joey Bosa, potentially Bobby Wagner, Kenneth Murray, potentially Jordan Davis, and that secondary, that's instantly a Super Bowl contender in my eyes. Mm-hmm. And if they can pull something like that off, I am extremely excited to see that team. And that's literally it. That's all I gotta say.
To win games in that division, you need to be able to put teams in 3rd and 18.
Exactly.
Front seven can
Honestly, which is what that front seven needs to be able to do. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Raj, what you that looks fire. What are you sipping on, bro?
Bro, Kirkland 0-calorie sparkling juice.
I was like, what the fuck? Hey,
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you.
He said Kirkland sparkling water juice. I love it.
Sounded
Is
like
it
an
water or
endorsement right
juice?
there. You know?
It's
I know,
sparkling
right?
juice.
Costco, give us money. Kirkland's was good.
Yo, Costco.
Hey,
sponsor
I
me.
fuck with the sparkling ice myself. You know.
Yo, this is like the bootleg sparkling ice.
Yeah.
It's basically
Z2, your take.
I like all the points everybody brought up. For me, I think the Chargers win the AFC West.
Interesting.
Mike might have something to say about that.
That's waiting for the
I
fence.
think
to be
I
honest.
think if the offseason goes right for them.
Oh shit!
Let me talk. So they have the cap space, but I see their cap space right now as a blanket because we're entering Justin Herbert's year 3 of a first-round quarterback, and usually extension talks start in year 4. So I think they want to save some money. I think B-Wags is still a potentially if they want to go win it all. But you look at pick 17, Brian Bulaga is a cap cut they can make and are probably going to make. So seeing Trevor Penning at 17 would excite me to go to LA and then come back in the second round and take like a Perrion Winfrey out of Oklahoma, who's not as big as Jordan Davis, not that athletic of a freak as Jordan Davis, but he makes tackles for loss. He plays anywhere from a 0 to a 5 technique in this 3-4. That would be amazing for them. And you get a sure end right tackle across from Rashawn Slater. And if you get B-Wags, you get B-Wags, but this defense is going to generate enough pressure so your DBs don't have to cover for that long. And then Kenneth Murray can play the run, and Kaiser White was a transfer from safety to linebacker. So, and he played.
Yo,
really
this
well.
man was writing on paper the whole fucking time, bro.
He
Put
played
it back
really well.
up.
What did that say? We couldn't read it.
Yeah, we couldn't even read
Don't
it.
read. Oh, he's editing.
I
He
thought we
probably don't
were
like me right
friends.
I just stated my opinion. I think the Chargers. I think the Chargers this offseason have gotten extremely better. I thought the move for Khalil Mack was even better than the Broncos move for Russell Wilson. Because the Broncos were already one step behind, but the Chargers already had a quarterback, and they brought in a better pass rusher, and the Broncos don't have that.
What you got, Pat?
Even after the Mike Williams signing, the Chargers still have $23 million in cap space.
Yep.
That's room to make. That's room to make about 2 good signings, in addition to some smaller ones.
There's still an Emmanuel
After that-
out there. There's still a Juju out there.
I yield my time to Mike. Tear him apart.
Come on, Mike.
If LA is really going for it all, you don't.
No.
You could not rule out.
You guys think I'm going to tear him apart, and I'm not.
I'm gonna agree.
Not coming from the
The
top.
one player, the one player you guys are not mentioning is Derwin James is going to be coming back. So that's going to help if he can be healthy. That's going to help solidify the back end.
Yep.
Asante Samuel Jr. has another year,
And he
If they
is
can
so
get another-
good.
So good.
if they can get another linebacker. I was going to bring up the Jordan Davis fact, or I've also seen Raj. Raj and Z2. I know you know his name off the top of your head. The other inside man from Georgia. I can't think of his name right now.
N'Kobe Dean?
Yeah.
No, N'Kobe Dean's there in the linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
I think they said
Wyatt-
inside backer. Okay.
Inside lineman.
Oh,
if
inside
they can
lineman.
get-
Or also Travis
if they
Jones.
can get Wyatt, if they can get Wyatt or Jordan Davis at the 17, I am absolutely scared shitless over the Chargers.
As you should be.
More
bro.
out of any other team in the AFC.
Yes.
Overall,
Period,
besides the
yeah.
Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna be super interesting. For all those out there that play futures. For all of you that are like really big in your future bets. These last 2 segments that we really went through and we really broke down when we're just talking about the AFC West in general, this is a money pit. This is where if you can put down good enough right now early on, and then in the future when that payout comes, whether you bet on Kansas City, whether you bet on Denver, whether you bet on Los Angeles, whether you bet on Las Vegas, right? whatever you do, this is the time where you need to take our takes, you need to take our analysis, and you take that to the bookie. Okay, maybe you place a couple of different bets on different guys or whatever, but you put your big money on whoever you have the most conviction on, right? Or you put most of your bankroll on whoever you have the most conviction on. Guys right now on this show are giving you the knowledge to increase that future bankroll. It's a bet that you place now and you wait till the end of the season to see if it pays off. Okay. I think that it compels a lot of you guys at home to really just sit back, take those last two segments that we broke down, compartmentalize, break that down, interpret everyone's takes, and then utilize it to formulate your own opinion. This is the time with NFL features where you can get to the bag because lines are low, and you have a lot of analysis out there to where it's super it's a lot of opinionated based, which is kind of what we're doing. Take all those different opinions, take all those different sources, listen to these guys when they're not on Rumboyz, check them out on their other shows. Get as much information as you can and then utilize that to make your own opinion and to go out there and beat that bookie's ass because it's time to do it. We do have one more topic for tonight.
I have a fun fact about bookies right now.
What's up?
On FanDuel, the Ravens are the favorite to win the AFC North at the moment.
I don't blame
Don't play it. Don't play that. Don't play that.
I like that actually.
So
that's just me.
Fuck.
Can I, since we talked through the AFC West, can I give you what DraftKings has for the division right now?
Drop it.
KC plus 120. Denver
Raiders.
plus 200.
Sounds right.
Raiders plus 1,000. And if what people are talking on this show are saying they like, Chargers at plus 350.
Run that. Run that.
Chargers
Run that. Run that. You have to, ladies and gentlemen, what Pat is telling you, you need to run that, and you need to run that right now. Like, you need to go lock that in, like, right now.
What's crazy about the AFC is we're going to see, like, 10, 11 win teams in the wild card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a lot. One thing I want to bring up about the schedule for the AFC West is I don't think the numbers are going to – I don't think the win totals are going to be as high because in the NFC, they got to play the NFC West, which is going to be a tough division.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have to play the AFC North, which is a tough division.
Yeah. Woo.
So
fuck yeah.
So I'm just saying it's and you got to play the two games inside your own division. So 6, 10, 13 games are like
when we get into our
divisions are tough except the Cleveland Browns. I mean,
when we get into our strength of schedule, when we get into our strength of schedule episode, when we get into our strength of schedule episode, we'll have a lot more analytics for you guys. We'll be able to break down. We'll us and Adam Rank, we do our exact predictions at the exact same time every year without fail. It happens all the time. Maybe I'll holler at Adam and we'll get him on again. You guys enjoyed that. You guys enjoyed that last time that we did that. But yeah, it happens without fail. So we'll be able to go deeper into that. But now's the time that where I think that if you're gonna play the Chargers, you need to do so. You need to do so right now.
Before the Bobby Wagner signing,
Mike, you're beginning this topic. We're keeping it West Coast to close out the show. We're keeping it California to close out the show. Yeah, West Coast, best coast all day, baby. With Trey Lance sitting in the background currently, the San Francisco 49ers have to figure out how they are going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. Where does he land and why, in your opinion? So we already talked about Watson and where we feel that he'll land and why. Now we're going to do the flip side with a different quarterback. Mike.
So I brought this up in a past episode. I'm sticking to my guns. Jimmy Garoppolo will be the quarterback of Raj and Herms' Pittsburgh Steelers. I still have a gut feeling on that. And until he is not, and he's on another team, I'm not going to go off of my bandwagon.
I just, as much as I want the Steelers to go after either Watson or Garoppolo, there's just not enough evidence in that franchise's history to support them at the quarterback position, blowing a bad for a guy. Like there's, I'm a big believer in history repeating itself, and I'm a big believer in an organization, in an entertainment company like the NFL. A lot of these guys stick to their guns. A lot of these organizations stick to their guns. So I just find it very hard. I want it to happen. I don't think that it's going to happen, but I love that take. I love that take. It's just hard to think that the Steelers will not draft a guy. It's really hard to not picture that happening. Pat.
There's a team in the AFC currently with the most salary cap space. And honestly, I think the 49ers, if they wanted max stuff for Jimmy G, should have had him traded this week. Every time one more piece falls into place, his value goes lower and lower because everyone knows that they do not want him to be on their roster. They've invested too much to get Trey Lance to let him sit another year. That team with the most cap space, Indy.
Damn it, you took my fucking take. Why are we friends?
Because I'm smart, motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
so they take on Jimmy G. They still got plenty of cap space. They're not overpaying for it. They could probably pay what they just got for Wentz.
For the fans at home, I'm gonna come up with something controversial. Just don't worry. I'll figure out something.
But then they've got room to put pieces. They can get more yak guys to help out on that team.
If anyone says Jimmy G to fucking Carolina, I'm gonna be like, you're drunk.
Yes, they're gonna go from Sam Darnold to Jimmy G.
No, like I don't even like Jimmy G fitting into that system. Like just when I think about the way that formations are ran, just oh god, he doesn't even need to deal with that stress.
What if Amari Cooper goes to Indy?
I wonder because they do have a ton of cap space.
They have $67 million to spend.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they can't afford to spend $20 million on Amari Cooper?
But does he want to go there though? Because they don't have a quarterback now with Wentz being gone.
But they could.
Money talks and bullshit walks.
And they'll figure that out before they even.
And they could easily they could facilitate a trade before.
Yeah.
Before he even gets released to the free agent market.
And I saw a tweet saying I think Dallas is like they're looking for thirds, but they'll accept a fourth. So I mean, it's like
that's too much of a.
There's almost no dead cap.
Dallas
but
is
Amari Cooper was $20 million on the free market.
Cooper's so valuable. I don't know why.
Which is what his contract is. It's $20 million. Do you not think that there's a team that would pay $20 million and give up a draft pick to get him versus him getting released or getting picked up on waivers? Indy is that team.
Yeah.
Indy's not going to let a star wide receiver go by the wayside when they have the chance and they have the cap space.
I like.
Sorry,
I
know it's hot takey.
No, it's not hot takey. Like that's where I was gonna go. Like when you said it, I was like, "Oh, you fucker! You've been hanging around me too long."
Twice in one take.
Yeah. Go ahead, Toby. What you got, bro?
So getting into my take about Jimmy G going to Carolina. No, I'm fucking with you. No, I don't even fit. I do have a weird take, and it's probably never going to happen, and it's off the wall. But Jimmy G to Tampa Bay, and they're going to get back Tom Brady's rights because San Francisco was on the short list in 2020 before he went to Tampa, and you get a fourth coming back for Jimmy G with the rights.
Okay.
Really?
Like they did with Gronk.
Fuck with it. I fucked with it.
I can't even.
You think Brady comes back?
It's hot.
Well, if the price is so low as what Pat referred to for Jimmy G, and you just take a fourth and get the potential return of a Tom Brady, if he decides to come back and play, he hasn't put it out of the question. when he's
he could very much fluctuate his opinion to return. I could totally see that happening, especially for San Francisco too.
And San Francisco is a quarterback away, and if they don't see what they like in Trey Lance and Brady wants to come play, and you have his rights, it's off the wall. It's off the wall. Indy's my favorite spot, but it was taken, so I.
No, I mean Indy, and I think that Indy makes the most sense from an X's and O's standpoint, but yours also. Because with BA is able to plug and play. So, like, it doesn't really matter who is QB. I mean, it does. Like, it really does. Like if he's getting a Jimmy G or a Watson, like Jimmy G has proven, realistically, Jimmy G has been proven to be serviceable enough to get you to the promised land. Like, at least close enough to the fucking promised land. So... And all it takes is one fluke and a half to get you over the hump. So I like it. I like it. Raj.
Okay. So this might be, again, a bit of an off the wall pick, or some could consider
it fits.
No. Some could consider it a cop out. I'm saying the Miami Dolphins. Okay. So obviously, elephant in the room, they hired Mike McDaniel, right? That's the fucking name. Mike McDaniel. That's their new head coach. The biggest thing, though, is obviously we know that they're committing to Tua halfway. Like, we really don't know 100%, but that's what people are expecting.
There's no commitment to Tua.
There really
Tua's that chick that you just cheat on repetitively over and over again. Like,
he's been kicked to the curb, run over, and everything.
My thing is, we've seen that Tua has problems with learning a new offense, and particularly a complex offense. And I think it's reasonable to expect. Shut up. But I think it's reasonable to expect that Mike McDaniel's offense heading into Miami will be, if not a clone, a very similar variation, like some sort of variation of Kyle Shanahan's offense in San Francisco. So why not bring in his quarterback as a bridge? Help Tua learn that new offense. Okay.
No, I think you're right. I think that's the only way that it works, because if you were to ask me who's going to have better chemistry with Waddle and Parker and the rest of those guys, between an established veteran and Jimmy G and fucking Tua, oh my God, I halfway know what I'm doing, Tagovailoa, I'm probably taking Jimmy Pornstar G.
That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point.
Like, dude fucks, bro. Like, I'm probably taking Jimmy G. Like,
there you go. There's my take.
Yo, maybe that's the problem. Yo, Tua, get out there, man. Shit. I'm kidding. David.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing with Tua moving on with the Dolphins moving on from Tua, it sounded like Mike McDaniel was really buying into Tua and really wanted to work with him. So there's that could maybe potentially halt that. But you never know. I mean, there's always
wanting to get hired.
I mean, Pete fucking Carroll said Russell Wilson ain't being traded. I don't know what y'all are hearing. He ain't being traded, and then boom, the dude shipped out a couple weeks later. So it's
I
really
got my hot take.
And then, but I think honestly, like in regards to Jimmy Garoppolo's future, I think I echo Mike's sentiment. I think he's going to Pittsburgh. I think either that or Pittsburgh looks into drafting a QB like what you said, Robbie, because that's actually their tradition. They love to draft QBs, whether it's Bradshaw, Neil O'Donnell, even obviously Ben Roethlisberger, Cordell Stewart, Mason Rudolph. The list goes on of guys that they've drafted and leaned on, as opposed to really looking towards the free agency or trading market for the predominance of their recent years. So I could see that happening, but drafting like a Matt Corral, I think that would be a tremendous.
Yes! Fuck yes! Please let it happen.
I fucking love you, David. Thank you.
Matt Corral's that dude, man. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's a guy that galvanizes the locker room. He's got a cannon of an arm. It's like a fucking artillery rifle he's got throwing footballs with. Honestly, I mean, I love the guy. I really do. So I think he'd be perfect fit at the number 20 spot. I believe it's where they're slotted for the first round. So why not? One of those two. But the only reason why I see Jimmy Garoppolo potentially the Steelers, and I'm not saying it's going to happen more so than drafting a QB, but the reason why that's a possibility is because he's the last domino to fall for available quarterbacks, and they're the last team that's like really capable of really going for a quarterback that's desperately in need of one. So
and Mike Tomlin can unleash the best of the best out of a motherfucker like no one else. So yeah.
But exactly, yeah. But to be honest, and this actually may sound like a hot take. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back to San Francisco. I really wouldn't. I'm not saying
Neither would I. 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 The Packers did it. Jordan Love. The Packers did it. To Jordan
Exactly. You are not. No, do not make Trey Lance Jordan Love, bro.
I'm not. I'm talking situational. I'm talking situational though.
If it does happen though, rest in peace to everyone who's drafting Trey Lance at the end of a first in the startup right now.
Yeah.
Fucking dude, I'm sorry.
I want it to happen. I just want to see the anarchy on Twitter now. Now I want it to happen.
It could be like a hoax thing. Like the Seahawks came out and said, we're not trading Russell Wilson. Well, we knew the 49ers said basically we're listening to offers, and then you don't trade him. But Russell Wilson got traded after he wasn't supposed to be traded.
You know, there's a lot of contradiction that we see. There's a lot of polar opposite results compared to what we're inclined to believe right from the get-go. So it could happen, you know. I just think, he got him to the NFC title game. You know, I'm not saying that it was in large part of him. The team really carried his ass in the playoffs as opposed to the other way around. But, but he's still a serviceable quarterback. I think it just kind of got away from him. He needs to get healthy. For one thing, too, that I think could really help him out. And Trey Lance only started in one game last year, played against the Texans, played well, but not spectacularly well to suggest that he's for sure the guy you want under center, no doubt about it, for the 49ers in the 2022 season. At least in my eyes, you know?
Hey, what had happened was David he came over before the show, and I was in the middle of the kitchen cooking. He's like, what seasoning is this? Oh, I'm going to add this to my tape. That's hot. And that's what happened. Herms,
Thanks,
what you
man.
got, bro? Hey, no, that was a good take, bro. What you got, Herms?
Well, I mean, first, like, I kind of want to echo what some people have said. Like, I mean, it would be cool, I guess, if the Steelers pulled the trigger on something like that. But, like, the quarterbacks that people assign to the Steelers, like, I mean, it's been said, but, like, the way my team operates is not that type of shit. Like, it's
not flashy.
You know
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
they're not flashy. Yeah.
you know, and like, no, we do flashy. We just don't do quarterback flashy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we save the flashy for other shit.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like, I mean, the quarterback of the future for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and like also like in order for it to, like, the reason, like, as cool as Garoppolo would be, the reason it doesn't like super work is because like we only know like two things about what they're gonna do for certain. One of them is like they want a guy who's mobile.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mike Tomlin has reiterated that time and time over, and Jimmy Garoppolo does not fit that bill.
You are
so
correct.
I mean, like,
correct.
it would be cool for him to be like a bit of like he'd be a very expensive stopgap. They can do the same type of thing, bringing in a veteran potentially to start half of the year off the free agent market and save a shit ton of money. Because, like, I mean, like, the difference between what Jimmy G was making and what Ben Roethlisberger was making is like we have other problems other places. Okay, like that it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
As much as like, and again, I think it would be cool, but I don't know. They're probably not going to go that route. So like some of the other places, like, I mean, like, really good things have already been said. The only, like, and I don't even know how much I believe in this. It's just an idea. It's an idea. I'm floating it out there. If for some reason Philadelphia misses on Deshaun Watson, they don't seem they don't seem married to Jalen Hurts, and I think they wouldn't mind having a guy that can take a little more command of an offense. You know what I mean? Like, how reasonable is it? I don't really know, but like, because like it's clear they're open to acquiring a quarterback. They've inquired on both Watson and Russell Wilson already, and because the cost of acquiring Jimmy Garoppolo is cheaper, like, they would get to keep all the trade assets that they've acquired through making other moves and stuff. So, like, if they really want to be economical with it and still do that shit, fuck it. Why not go out and get a Jimmy G? You know what I mean? Like, it's not the most.
I'll play against Jimmy G in my division.
Yeah, it's not the most plausible theory in the world, but like, it's not unreasonable.
Ow!
I mean, it has merits. But either way, I just want to before I take it. I've been saying it for a while. I completely agree. Fucking, week 1 of the season, come out, do the thing out the tunnel, alternate gold uniforms, fucking Golden Corral. There you go, Golden Corral. That's the fucking move. Put him in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Golden Corral. Pull up a chair and get to the buffet. It's time for Golden Corral. That's what your boy wants.
Do you think
I want Matt Corral to Pittsburgh for real? I've said
Dude,
that before.
so much. Oh my fucking
I
God.
got an interesting question for y'all. Do you guys think that maybe the Steelers go after Jimmy Garoppolo and still draft a quarterback in the first round? Because I think it's possible.
I think they go after
think so?
they go after a vet and draft a quarterback. You're like most of what you're saying is probably what they will look to do. The issue, like I said, is just like because of how expensive Jimmy Garoppolo is.
They could go after. I can see them going after a Trubisky and drafting a guy. I can see that.
Like I'm not even worried about expensive like relative to the draft capital necessary. I'm talking like purely because like we do have a ton of cap space available to us, but like there are a lot of issues on our defense that need to be because our front is extremely old. The secondary has needed help the entire time I've watched the team, and then the O line. So and even that, I don't even know. I'm not confident in what's available on the free agent market for offensive line in terms of coming in to fit our scheme, and that worries me. But that's a whole other. That would be neat. I'm not opposed to that. So it's like, either way.
So here's what I'll say. I like Jimmy G to Minnesota.
Really,
Minnesota
to join Kirk or replace?
To replace Kurt.
Where's Kurt?
I think it happened. So
I'm following with this. I like this.
To what Hoop was saying earlier, a 3-team trade, maybe Carolina, gets involved somehow. Maybe Carolina just gets completely discouraged and they're like, you know what, fuck it.
Kirk
blow it all
Cousins
up, rebuild,
with Ben
or
McAdoo, if they were to find a way to finesse that potentially, actually wouldn't be that bad of a fit.
McAdoo's not bad in as an OC.
Maybe Kirk lands in Carolina somehow. Jimmy G lands in Minnesota, San Francisco to help Carolina split carries with CMC, sends Raheem Mostert or something. Like I could see something like that. I mean, three-team trades don't happen often, period, in the NFL damn near. Most businesses done straight up party to party. But that's not saying that it can't happen. It has happened before. I could see maybe something like that. If I'm San Fran, I'm not doing a one-on-one for Garoppolo for Kirk just because it's like I just put myself into the same fucking issue, same shit.
Very lateral.
Yeah, very lateral. But I could see.
I'd say less, but it may be worse probably if you ask me. But I don't know.
I could see 3 organizations hopping on a phone together and maybe saying, let's do some blockbuster shit right now. And I can see that maybe happening like middle of the draft, or right before the draft or some shit, So yeah, I think that's I wanted to close. I wanted to give a hot take for real. I feel like you gotta put respect on Jimmy G's name. Like if you were to give Jimmy G, maybe Minnesota is like, hey, all right, San Fran, we're gonna send you Thielen, or we'll send you Thielen. We'll send Carolina Kirk. We'll throw in some picks in between the both of you, and you send us Jimmy G, and maybe Carolina sends them, something defensively or whatever, or sends them like an extra pick or a lineman or something or the other. I can see Minnesota. Minnesota hasn't done shit and they've been mediocre. So I can see them very easily saying, let's blow it up and let's just say fuck it.
I could see Cleveland too if they're out on Baker.
I'm surprised no one said
theory, but I'm here for it.
I'm surprised no one said the Giants. Maybe. I mean, is that possible, or is that I'm not saying that's his favorite, but
the Giants aren't smart enough. The Giants just aren't smart enough is the problem. Like it's Gettleman.
That's kind of what I was getting at too.
Yeah, like it's Gettleman. Like as long as Gettleman is in charge, grab your torch and pitchfork until
he's already out of the picture. They've already replaced.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Joe Schoen, right?
It doesn't behoove them to make that kind of move right now. But
he's just an expensive guy to lead to the next one.
So like
you also want to get your quarterback right away as early as possible in the offseason. You want that any extra time, any extra weeks of them throwing to already existing wide receivers, any time for them to learn your playbook and get connected with your OC and your head coach. That's precious minutes.
If the Giants were going to get a quarterback, they would have already.
That's what helped Stafford last year, was how early that trade happened between Detroit and LA. Was he had all the time in the world to get out to LA and to get going with
guys together, run all season workouts and shit. And
the longer San Fran drags this out too, is more money they're eating from that contract.
That's a good point. Exactly. Because that was a dumpster fire of a deal they signed him to.
Hey, well, fellas, I appreciate you guys. I know the chat appreciates you, all of your analysis. Make sure, guys, girls, you're getting out there. All our pirates and pirettes, you're getting out there, enjoying the off season, keeping track of these moves, seeing how it's going to affect your fantasy teams, taking our analysis and utilizing it for yourself to be able to help make yourself a better fantasy player and make yourself, better breaking down, the NFL and things of that nature and just understanding it. I hope that we were able to provide a service for you guys. We greatly, greatly appreciate all of you for joining us and viewing tonight. Let's get into some outros. We'll work our way from the bottom all the way to the top. Herms.
I'm out here in these streets.
David.
Happy to be on the show again. You guys can follow me at David G Sports TV. You can also check out our podcast, the OTH NFL and College Football Podcast on YouTube, and at OTH Football Pod on Twitter is also where you can follow our show. So, just happy to be on, and I look forward to talking some more football in the future.
Hell yeah. Our homie Garrett in Iowa says, "Great show, boys. Bears are coming for the crown." Okay.
I wish, but hell fucking no. That's a pipe dream if there ever was one.
Going for the crown? Like, are they going to the dentist? Or are they getting?
Yeah. They're going for the Royal.
They're going for the fucking septic tank. Honestly,
Raj, your outro.
Yo, at Rumboyz Rush on Twitter. That's about it.
Z2. You fucking
fucking rookie.
I am a rookie. I'm just not gonna say anything.
What's your hand size like?
No. Now. Give your take.
Z2 Fantasy on Twitter, and I sometimes make cool pictures. So that's about it.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Pat.
At St. Patrick FF on Twitter and wherever else I can find myself getting to. I'll be around.
Yeah, Mike.
You can find me here all the time. You can find me at goingfor2.com. You can find me trying to make cool pictures, unlike Toby, who does make cool pictures.
You do make cool pictures. Fuck your trolls.
Screw my troll.
and Mike did the graphic for tonight. Good job on it, man. Thank you so much. Cheers to Mike for making the graphic tonight. Thank you, brother.
No problem.
It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. Get at me on the Stacks app. Download the Stacks app. Join our Stackatology tournament. Like I said, even if you're not into college basketball, it's like one of those things where it's just fun to fill out a tournament. Like you don't have to pay anything to fucking compete. And then if you just so may happen to win and you win, we're gonna send you fucking autograph shit. We're gonna send you jerseys. We'll be announcing more prizes throughout the weekend. So make sure you guys stay tuned at Join Stacks app on all social media. That's TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all social media, period. So yeah, get up with us. Join Stacks app on all social media. Join that. And honestly, for Rumboyz content, literally just Google Rumboyz. I'm the only fucking thing that pops up. Outside of that, cheers to me. Cheers to you. Oh, fuck it. I got a shot that I already poured up for all of you. Cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? Dilly, y'all. Here we go. Last one of the night.